Is it even visible on camera?
Is what invisible on camera?
Your scar.
I don't think so. Can you see it?
Yeah, I mean, you can barely see it, yeah.
It's not really worth talking about, like I said. And if we get anyone asking about it, they'll know about it because I'll talk to everybody involved, I'm pretty sure.
Let's pretend that we are making content for the audience we want to have, not just the audience that we do currently have.
I mean, we can do that. It's true. But the audience that we want to have is not going to give a shit.
Did you hit start yet? Because this is
It's
good
been
shit.
starting.
Okay, this is good shit.
I mean, we can keep as much of this in as we want.
We didn't do the clap, though. How are we going to know when to start the recording?
We've already started the recording.
What about all the stuff before the clap, though?
You didn't hear the clap. It was my butt cheeks. I don't know if I can do that. I'm not trying.
Okay. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Ben. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. I'm excited to record, even though I have nothing really to talk about,
We never have anything to talk about. That's the whole point.
No, we used to have stuff to talk about. Like, it used to be we'd have a thing that at least, like, one thing we did during the week would be like, let's talk about that thing.
I mean, I can talk about stuff I do over the week, but, like, we're going to talk about this. Actually, that's a great point. We're going to talk about that stuff, but not at the beginning.
Fair enough. What's our starting topic today?
It's probably that.
This?
Yeah, that.
This? What are we pointing at?
We got to be, like, back here a little bit, but that.
Hey,
Game
Spotify
Awards.
listeners, I think it's just Elijah. We are going to be talking about the Game Awards
Hey.
today.
There's, like, 3 people who listen to us on Spotify. One of them is Eric, our number 1 Facebook fan.
Our number 1 Facebook. Wait, are we on Facebook now?
No, he's going to be making he's claimed he's going to make a Facebook group that's a fan page for us that he'll be the only member of, and as a result of that, be the head of the fan club.
Oh my god. Okay, who gets to counter this by making our subreddit?
You.
No, God no. No.
You're the only person I know who could be a Reddit mod.
No, I can't be a Reddit. I've never been a Reddit mod.
Okay.
I've tried to be a Reddit mod. Like a long time ago, I'm like, I could be a mod of our games. These guys aren't very good at their jobs. I could do a better job than them. I've been banned from our games for a while now, so I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
We're getting off topic already. That's so fast. Let's talk about the Game Awards, Ben.
I was segueing us into games.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I was about to segue us out. That's why I said that. I was talking me, not you.
This is
I was the problem.
This is the problem. We waffle.
That's the whole thing. Let's talk about this game. Not game, but let's talk about the most anticipated game. So this is we're gonna go through our list of we're gonna go through the Game Awards entire thing.
The Game Award nominations that
Yeah.
were recently announced. We're gonna go through and we're gonna talk about what we think is going to win, and
Yeah.
maybe to a certain extent what we want to win. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've got a lot of opinions on a lot of nominations this year.
I mean I know game of the year I have strong opinions on. I
Yeah.
think. But besides that,
We're saving that one for last.
we're also
though.
not doing esports because neither of us care enough about esports.
I care a little bit about esports, but I don't know enough
not
about it to be
enough.
able to talk about it. You know,
care a little bit, but not enough.
I could be like, okay, so Street Fighter 6, the player Kakarot is really fucking cool, and I hope he wins for best player this year. But like, does that mean anything to you?
Nope.
Yeah. So no
And-
discussion to be had.
And back in the day, I used to watch a little bit of Overwatch League when I was really into Overwatch, but only when Siegel was on one of the teams, and then he left the team, and I was like, well, this is dead to me.
You know, funny you bring up Overwatch. I saw a trailer for whatever newest character is going to be in Overwatch, and I was like, holy shit, I kind of forgot that they're still putting out like a shitload of new characters for this game that I haven't paid attention to since Overwatch 2 was released.
Well, the thing is that they're not like really like.
Hey, I mean, that trailer, it was for a brand new character, but I remember seeing at least 2 other characters in it that I did not recognize at all, meaning that they were just new characters since before I stopped paying attention, you know? Or since I stopped paying attention.
I think it's been like a year or 2 since Overwatch 2 came out.
Oh, yeah? It's been longer than that, hasn't it?
Has it been longer? I don't know, but I think they've been averaging about 2 characters a year, if I'm not mistaken. But let's talk about not that. Let's talk about the most anticipated game. Okay, so before sausage being made before the record, I looked at this list and I said to myself, "Why the fuck is 007 First Light here?" And Ben got excited. Ben,
Yeah, because it's
why are you
being
excited?
I'm excited because it's being developed by IO Interactive, who are
Okay.
famous for making the Hitman games.
That's what I was gonna guess.
There you go. And Hitman, like, it's not a series that I'm into, but I have a friend, his name is Dylan, who is fucking obsessed with it. And it is a cool game. Have you ever played the Hitman games?
Yes. So I was gonna bring up. I'm not obsessed with them. but I will get obsessed with like one level for like a week or two.
Yeah, they're so dense, dude.
There's so much content to be had in one level, and you can like literally go through and just like figure out every single path of how to get up to here, get up to that, go, and then you try to get every single specific kind of kill.
Yeah.
It's such a good fucking game, and it's such a perfect method of how they orchestrate the whole thing.
I've watched multiple YouTubers talk specifically about James Bond and like the idea of like blending in, not necessarily through stealth, but like with social stuff.
Yes.
And that's something that Hitman does. It's not just sneaking around and crouching behind like low objects. It's also putting on disguises, acting like you belong.
Yeah.
You know, not being in places you're not supposed to be in, or having an explanation for why you're supposed to be there, or something like that.
Or if you need to be in that place, you just get the right outfit.
Exactly. And the classic image of James Bond is him in his tuxedo going to some like fancy party that he shouldn't be at, playing Baccarat or Texas Hold'em or whatever.
Yeah. And then you have Mads Mikkelsen, I think. He's just like sitting there with the Hungry Hippos.
Yeah, I mean, Casino Royale is such a good movie.
I have not seen it.
Really?
I haven't seen any of the James Bond movies.
Okay, so James Bond is really weird. It's a very long franchise. It's very weird. It's gone through so many changes because it's always been like contemporary and up to date with whatever's been going on in movies.
Yeah.
We'll get around to it. We'll have a James Bond thing someday.
But besides, 007 First Light, we got Grand Theft Auto 6, which got delayed again.
Obviously, people are excited for that. Neither of us are.
If we're doing like our predictions, my prediction is that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to win.
Yeah, I'd predict that.
I don't think Marvel's Wolverine. I don't think anyone cares about Marvel's Wolverine, if I'm being honest, including me, the only Wolverine fan I know.
Insomniac. I'm forgetting. That's a name I definitely recognize.
They did Spider-Man games. That's the ones that you're probably most thinking of.
Yeah. Okay. Well, people loved the Spider-Man games. That was like the biggest superhero thing since Batman Arkham.
I want to fight. Okay. So I love most of the Spider-Man games, the new ones, because the original Spider-Man 2 game that came out, everyone loved back in the day on the GameCube and the PS2.
I loved it.
Amazing game, and the reason it was so good was because of the web swinging. Right?
Yeah.
And every Spider-Man after that fucked that up, including Spider-Man 3, where you could swing anywhere and do anything, and it was like, what's the fucking point of it having this mechanic if you're not going to utilize it?
Yeah.
Then the new Spider-Mans came out, and they did that combat, and they did that web swinging, and they got it right, and they did the combat, and the combat's so good. And then you play as not Spider-Man.
Yeah, the Mary Jane parts, the parts where you're Miles, but you're not playing as Miles in the Spider-Man suit.
I unironically was having so much fun with the first Spider-Man game, and then I got to the first mission with Mary Jane, and it killed my entire idea, feeling to play the game. I stopped playing. Like I beat that mission, I think, and then I was running around having more fun, and then I was like, I have to go do a story mission right now. I don't want to do any more story missions, and I turned the game off and I never turned it back on.
This is where I get critical of people who insist that they play games primarily for the stories. I'm like, you saying shit like that is low key ruining games for the rest of us.
Like,
you know,
I don't know.
Because Spider-Man, it doesn't matter if it can have a good story, it can have a bad story. It doesn't matter. We're not playing it for the story. We're playing it for that web slinging.
I think there are games where like the story is the most important part, and I agree with that. I think that's fine.
Yeah, it's called the adventure game genre.
Or there's some others, like I think the Mass Effect games are really good at that.
Yeah,
Dragon Age.
I miss old BioWare. Well, I mean, I haven't played on Baldur's Gate, but that's still carrying on the legacy of classic BioWare.
Where the gameplay and the story are both really good and interesting. I think there's a healthy mix. I just think that the way they did it in the Spider-Man games is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And they should not have you not play as Spider-Man in a Spider-Man game, because why the fuck would I want to play as Mary Jane?
Yeah, unless she is a Spider-Woman version of herself where you can go web-slinging, you know?
It's like, what's the fucking point if I'm playing fucking, like, a really shitty stealth game in this Spider-Man game?
It's like, am I playing Spider-Man to be a normal person? No, I can do that in real life.
It was awful.
And none of the Batman Arkham games did that. I never played Arkham Knight, but I'm pretty sure there's no part where it's like you can't play as Batman. You have to play as some dipshit.
Arkham Knight is the worst of the Arkham games.
So I've heard.
Because it has the most C-tier villains you can imagine, like fucking Copperhead.
No, you're thinking of Arkham Origins.
Oh, I am thinking of Arkham Origins. You're right. Arkham Knight was fine.
Yeah, Arkham Knight, I know people just didn't like a lot of the driving, except they do kind of like the driving.
It's kind of okay. It was kind of fun. My biggest problem with it was that they kind of changed up the entire, like, feeling of the game, because in Arkham, we're getting a little off topic.
We are waffling so damn
It's
hard
fine,
on this
it's
stupid
fine.
Wolverine game that we don't care about.
I care about it a little tiny bit, but
A
not
little
enough,
tiny bit.
not enough to be on the most anticipated game. The way you'd play the first two Arkham games is that you would like be stealthing, and then you'd kind of be constantly hitting, I think, R2 to be getting the bzzz, so you can see all the enemies.
Mm-hmm.
They took that out in Arkham Knight, and it was really annoying when I played them in succession, because that one I just kept hitting R2 and it was not that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is not entirely their fault, because in the context of the actual games they came out years apart, but still.
To try to bring it back to Wolverine, I will say that Wolverine is probably one of the most popular superheroes that conspicuously has not had a dedicated game yet.
He has, but they're not very good.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have a Spider-Man 2 or a Hulk Ultimate Destruction or a
No.
Batman Arkham Asylum, and he is a hero that is worthy of that.
I would say there's a few that don't. Like Iron Man would be another good one.
Iron Man, well, that's another. So, if I'm not mistaken, the best Iron Man game that people talk about is the VR one.
Probably.
And that's like, okay, I guess that kind of makes sense because, like, especially in the movies where they emphasize the suit and
And all
Robert
this-
Downey Jr. in the suit, and it's
all
like,
the things, and it's like the bzz, bzz, bzz. Yeah.
I guess I could see that. My problem with Iron Man is that, like, gameplay-wise, he's just a shooter, you know?
Yeah. Resident Evil Requiem.
So I am low-key excited about that just because I think Resident Evil is a really cool series, and even though I've never played any of the games, I love it. I love its impact on the industry.
I would say it's going to depend, because I personally really enjoyed Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 7, and Resident Evil 8.
Yeah.
But I liked Resident Evil 8 more than 4, or more than 7, because Resident Evil 8 is more like Resident Evil 4.
Uh-huh. And some people are like, I don't want it to do that. We liked
Exactly.
7 because it was classic survival horror.
So the question is, where are they going?
Yeah, that is, and they have shown almost nothing of this game.
Yeah,
So,
so-
there isn't much to be excited. That's the bigger problem with Wolverine. I have not seen a single piece of gameplay footage. As soon as you see that, I bet my excitement would actually go pretty high.
I've seen leaked shit, but that's about it.
Mm.
And it was not interesting to me.
Okay, Witcher 4.
Witcher 4. Okay, so obviously this is going to be a big one. The only reason I don't think it's going to win is because, one, CD Projekt Red are pretty notoriously bad with releasing games in the good state.
Yeah, everyone kind of forgot about the Witcher 3 thing, and they had to
Yep.
re-remember that with Cyberpunk.
And-
For me personally, Cyberpunk ruined their reputation for me.
And I think that like people aren't going to forget this time. Besides that, also playing as Cersei and not Geralt is going to be a thing that, regardless of who you are, someone's going to hate, and I don't care that they hate it, but I understand that they're part of the audience.
I've had 3 games to play as Geralt. The last one, Witcher 3, was a lot of Geralt, and it was really good. So I'm personally like, okay, yeah, Ciri. Let's play as Ciri.
I only got to one part of Witcher 3 because it was too big for me.
It is too big.
Yes.
I didn't beat it. I didn't get that far.
Yeah. But I think that like it would be nice. I just assumed you did play as Ciri at some point. I don't know.
You do play as Ciri as a couple of parts, but it's like a very, very... So the game is built around Geralt. He's got his whole like equipment system, skill system, everything like that. There's a few vignettes that you play as Ciri in much the same way that you play as Mary Jane in the Spider-Man game,
Okay.
except, you know, this pared down, simplified version of the character that doesn't have all the main features can still teleport and do lots of cool sword attacks.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Like, she's still a cool and fun character to play as in her own right. And you could definitely build a game around it.
So my personal, I'm gonna say First Light because I love the Hitman games and I want that to be good. These two I'm kind of skeptical on. I think GTA is gonna be what they pick.
GTA is definitely what they're gonna pick. I think my most excited, like the one I want to succeed, the one I want to see come out and be good is 007.
Yeah. All right. Previews.
We're doing a reverse order for anyone who is listening or watching because the very first category is Game of the Year and we want to do that one last. All right, so what's this category?
Best adaptation. So this is a not video game, but this is a thing.
Oh, I don't think I care about this.
I don't care about this. It's going to be Last of Us, I think, is what's going to win.
Oh no, it's not. It's not going to be Chicken Jockey.
I don't think that Minecraft movie is going to win because I feel like no one would be able to take it seriously if it did.
So for our listeners, real quick, the nominations are the Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry anime, is that on
Yep.
Netflix? Splinter Cell Death Watch, Last of Us Season 2, and Until Dawn. And the only ones I actually knew existed were Last of Us Season 2 and Minecraft movie.
Oh, you didn't know about Devil May Cry?
I did not.
I mean, one, it's fine. The thing about Devil May Cry is that people hated it is that they represented the demons in like a positive, it's like a semi-positive light, kind of like how they did it with the Lord of the Rings show, and they had like the Uruk Tai represented as like normal with wives and stuff.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You talk about that Amazon Lord of the Rings show?
Yeah,
Is that a thing that happens in that?
I believe so. Yeah, they represent them like having wives and like children.
I thought that series was like a prequel.
I don't understand enough.
Didn't the Urukai get made by Saruman?
I think that's fake. I think that we made that for the movie because they didn't want to explain how it actually happens. Actually,
No. It's a thing. I've read the books. I've read the Two Towers.
I don't know, man.
Okay, whatever. Fuck that show. Nothing about that show ever looked good. I didn't want it to be made. Everything I ever saw about it was stupid. The reception was bad. I'm not gonna watch it. I pretend it doesn't exist. Okay, we're done.
I think the Ubisoft Splinter Cell Death Watch might be kind of cool, but I haven't seen it or heard about it, so I'm not assuming it's going to win anything.
I mean, both of those, that Devil May Cry, I'm never going to pay attention to it, because I fell off of Castlevania before everybody else. I fell off in Season 2, and everyone liked Season 2.
I liked Season 2, but Season 1 was better.
Well, Season 2, for me, it was like, okay, Season 2 of Castlevania was actually the first show that I really fucking noticed the Netflix serialized, for streaming TV setup that they have, where the only episodes that matter are like the first and the last, and everything in the middle is just a fucking waste of time. And the case of Castlevania was like them hanging out in a library the entire time, and like Dracula hanging out with like a vampire character they messed up, and a vampire character from the show that they messed up.
I really liked, I think his name is Isaac, the Forge guy?
Yeah, he's from Castlevania. What was that? It was for PS2.
I just liked him as a character.
Yeah, he was... I don't want to get into it.
No, let's not. But I don't care about any of these enough to give my own personal thing, but I'm assuming Last of Us is going to win because it was like the most talked about thing I'd ever heard about.
I assume that as well.
Besides maybe Minecraft movie.
Until Dawn, I don't know about that series, but if it's the one I'm thinking of, isn't that a very, very cinematic style game?
Yeah, that's why, honestly, even seeing it, I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Because, like, the game is basically a movie.
Well, so's The Last of Us.
No. There's gameplay in The Last of Us.
Yeah, it's gameplay to make you feel like you're in a movie. I know the distinction. I'm not going to get into it.
Best multiplayer.
Another thing I strongly don't have an opinion on. So
this is a great setup.
Our nominations are Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring Night Reign, Peak, and Split Fiction.
I've talked about Peak.
Yeah, you have talked about Peak. I know about Peak.
Peak is awesome. I don't... Oh, God. It's the Game Awards, so I feel like Split Fiction's going to win, even though I don't think it should.
I don't think it should. I don't think Split Fiction. Not when Elden Ring. Not when there's a FromSoft title here. Also, I've heard, like, a lot of things about Arc Raiders. Like, I don't know much about it, but it's a name that I keep hearing. It's definitely hype.
It's definitely hype. The thing about it is that it is a extraction shooter. Which has never really been like that popular. Like there's Escape from Tarkov, which is like popular to a degree, but it's with a niche audience. And I was really surprised to hear that people were into Arc Raiders. And the person I was most surprised was our mutual friend Nathan, who notably basically never plays any multiplayer games anymore. But he had a lot of fun in Arc Raiders.
Interesting.
The other thing about Arc Raiders is that the single player version of the runs, everyone seems to be friendly.
Well, I mean, how long does that last?
Like, no, it's like notably the community is being significantly more friendly than any other community within the context. It's been bizarre.
I remember when they said the same thing about Monster Hunter, and it was true then, but like all it takes is time and a large enough audience.
Oh, well, I'm sure that like as the audience moves away from the game, the people who will stay are the people who are most likely to be cutthroat. Also, I think that as an audience or as a big player of the game, you should be cutthroat. That's the fucking point.
Yeah, I mean, what I know about extraction shooters, it does seem like a very cutthroat genre.
I would be, as an Escape from Tarkov player, I'd be very confused if they didn't immediately try to shoot me. You may be right about Elden Ring Night Reign. I think of mine, I would have to go Peak. I just think Peak is so much fun and is really simple and easy to understand. It's one of the most fun. Elden Ring Night Reign is a very close second, though. It's actually very fun if you haven't played it yet.
I think I would rather have Peak win, but as for what I think will win, I'm probably leaning towards Elden Ring Night Reign.
I'm putting it between Split Fiction and Elden Ring Night Reign. I just feel like Split Fiction is going to be what has like captured people's memories more than Night Reign.
I don't know. Most of what I've heard about Split Fiction is that they find the characters and the writing annoying.
Maybe.
That is the most common thing I've heard about it. It's like it's not bad. It's definitely a continuation of that two-player genre that what's the company Hazelight Studios have been doing all this time. But
I don't know.
compared to It Takes Two, I haven't heard it nearly as positive. You know?
No.
I feel like we can move on.
Yeah, no. Sorry, I was looking at my phone real quick. Apologies.
No, you good.
Best sports/racing game.
Okay, this is one of those super frustrating genre things where it's like, okay, a lot of these games should not be compared.
No.
A lot of these games should not be compared.
Ben, I know 3 of these.
Our nominations are EA Sports FC26,
Okay.
F1 25, Mario Kart World, Rematch, and Sonic Racing's Cross Worlds. I'm just going to start by saying it's not going to be Mario Kart World.
No.
That is a game that came out and everyone almost immediately forgot about it.
It is not. It's also like exclusive to the Switch 2, and no one gives a shit about the Switch 2 because it's too expensive.
Yep.
Rematch is crazy. Rematch is a really interesting game because all it is literally is Rocket League but with people.
You mean wait, is it a soccer game? Okay, jokes aside, I can see it's a soccer game from the thumbnail. I had not heard of it yet. But you're saying that it's like a genuinely fun multiplayer soccer.
Yeah. But it's just it takes the fucking Rocket League formula and turns it into just regular people, which you'd be confused as to how one came before the other. But here we are.
The one Sonic Racing's Cross Worlds I've heard about. I've heard is actually fucking fantastic.
I have also heard that. If I were to guess, I would say that Sonic's Racing would probably win.
You think so?
I think so, because Rematch kind of got forgotten about pretty much the moment it came out as well as Mario Kart. And I kind of just don't see F1 or EA Sports winning.
F1 maybe. So racing games, driving games in particular, is just there's so much more advanced, so much more technology, so much more passion behind them than just a typical sports game.
Fair.
Like I get it's not that people are not passionate about soccer, but
no, but there's less technical acumen you can have. Comparing a fucking ball to a vehicle.
Like at the end of the day, like FIFA is always going to be just a for-profit series, whereas there's plenty of examples of driving games, I'll just call them, rather than necessarily racing games, but like Forza or there's so much technology, there's so much passion being put into those.
Beam,
and
IO.
F1, I don't know when it happened, but it's been having its moment. I hear about F1 news and drama all the time on Reddit, and that just is like a thing now, which kind of blows my mind.
Maybe they're just getting to the point where they're getting too fast. Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, it's just having a historical moment, a cultural moment.
I don't know enough about how the Game Awards would react to this, so my theory is that the Sonic racing games would win, because I feel like a Sonic game is just gonna win. And
you really think that?
I feel like if a Sonic game was ever gonna win, it's gonna be this one. You know what I mean?
All right, my guess is gonna be on Rematch. I don't know anything enough about it, but yeah. I think they're not going to choose the kiddie Sonic game.
Maybe. Best sim/strategy game.
All right, this is another one where the list is going to piss me the fuck off because these games should not be compared. So our nominations are Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evil Ice Chronicles, Jurassic World Evolution 3, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Tempest Rising, The Alters, and 2 Point Museum.
What the fuck?
Now, I'm just going to start by pointing out Jurassic World Evolution 3 is like a sim management game.
It's not a strategy game at all.
But that's how they rank these strategy games. So it's real-time, return-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. That is how they're defining these. These should not be fucking compared. These are completely different genres. The fans are completely different groups of people.
2 Point Museum is the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I've never heard of that, but I'm guessing just based on the titles. Like, this is, you build a museum, right?
Good guess.
That's not a strategy game. You're not controlling like an army of people. And you compare that to Final Fantasy Tactics, which is like an old school turn-based, grid-based tactics game.
I was actually gonna make that point. Is it not turn-based?
Yeah, it's like these games should not be on the same category list together. It's insulting.
This is insane.
So I have no idea what's going to win. The best game out of this list is definitely Final Fantasy Tactics.
No.
But yes, it is. But it's a fucking remake.
No.
What do you think it is?
The Alters.
I don't know what the Alters is.
Dude, I got the Alters because it is Yahtzee Crowshaw's most recommended game this year. The entire idea is that you are that guy in the middle. And that guy in the middle
with the mustache there?
Yep. He is I think he goes into space or something, and he gets he's on a spaceship and he has to get to a certain destination. But he needs people. He doesn't have people. So what does he do? He clones himself. All of those are his clones.
Okay, that's a fun gimmick.
And I don't know much more about it beyond that because I haven't
So
started.
it's
playing
interesting and it's unique in Yahtzee Crow Shop. Okay, I'll put that one aside. So
Final
in
Fantasy
terms of
Tactics.
legacy, well, Final Fantasy Tactics, I wouldn't put this on this list either. It's a
No,
remake.
I would like to mention though, to be fair, I don't like the Final Fantasy games, but the Final Fantasy Tactics games I do like.
And Final Fantasy Tactics 1, because Tactics Advance and like Tactics TA2 or whatever it was called for the DS, those are like wild spin-offs that have almost nothing to do with the original Tactics, which is a lot more like the Ogre Battle games, which is, because it was developed by the people who made Ogre Battle.
Right.
And it's just one of those best games in like it's one of the best of its genre. It's one of the best in history,
Exactly, yeah.
And it's a remake. It doesn't deserve to be nominated for a Game of the Year.
No, it should not be. It's like when they did the fucking DLC last year for Elden Ring. It was so stupid.
So yeah, hearing about the altars, I want that to win. I don't know if it will.
I don't know with the problem with this one is like these are so wildly different. I have no fucking idea what even anyone could think of as far as comparison. If it was me personally, I would vote the altars. I'm gonna be playing that probably when I get home. Honestly, I'm gonna start it because I just bought it the other day. I'm really excited for that. But I could see Sid Meier's Civ 7 winning.
I can't. What? So as someone who's loved Sid Meier's Civilization since its 4th entry, and they've followed like the hype and everything around it, 7 has been probably the least popular in a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it hit its peak in 5, it was still going strong in 6, but it's been falling off pretty hard. And 7, I don't hear many good things about it.
Do you have any prediction on this one? Because it's just so wild. I have no idea.
If Final Fantasy Tactics wins, I think that I would be insulted by that. It shouldn't win. I don't know anything about Tempest Rising.
It's just like imagine Command and Conquer.
I bet it's going to be the altars.
I'm hoping. Let's go with the altars because I have no idea. It's what I want to win. That's what I think they're gonna pick.
But this is a classic case of the people who actually choose the Game Awards. That shadowy boardroom of people who do the official nominations, do the official votes, and everything. They don't know enough about this genre, and I don't care about their opinions.
No, obviously.
About these genres, I should say, because this is a horrible mishmash of things that should not be compared against one another.
But we're here. We're doing it.
All right, best family game. Donkey Kong. Sorry, we're not even going to read the rest of the list.
Okay, we have to, though.
Okay, so our nominations are Donkey Kong Bonanza,
Lego Party,
Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and Split Fiction.
So Split Fiction's out because it's not a family game.
It kind of is.
You don't play that game with your family.
You play it with someone.
Wife or your girlfriend.
I can imagine this being like a game that you put in front of your 2 teenage daughters and be like, stop fighting all the time. Maybe. This will help.
Mario Kart World and Sonic Racing, I think, are both potentially in there.
It's not going to be Mario Kart because we already said Sonic's better.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I would actually think it's going to be Lego Party.
I was going to say the Lego games might be up there.
Well, here's the thing about Lego Party is it's actually really good and quite popular. Donkey Kong Bonanza is pretty much only popular with Donkey Kong fans, which is why you like it.
No, it's definitely not just with Donkey Kong fans. When Donkey Kong Bonanza came out, it was pretty much universally be like, this is probably going to be the best game of the year. And then we had an insane year of games.
We did have an insane year.
Like, it was very popular with streamers. It was very popular in the games industry. It was like, people making games and stuff. The thing is that, like, a reason I would imagine it winning this is because it's nominated for Best Game of the Year, and it's definitely not going to win that. And they're going to try to fit it a win in somewhere.
Is it nominated for Best of the Year?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Because, again, like, so a lot of the people who do the Game Awards are actually, like, industry people. Like, people who make games. Like, the one person I know famously is on the panel is fucking Kojima.
Right, yeah.
Which is hilarious because Death Stranding was nominated for Game of the Year as well.
How odd. I think Lego Party's gonna win because I think that I think it more matches the best family game than Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Fair enough.
But I think that Donkey Kong Bonanza is like very much in the running. It's like I don't think these ones are, if I'm being honest, at all. But these two.
I think Bonanza's going to win. I think I would rather Lego Party win.
I don't know enough about Lego Voyagers. I don't think I've heard anyone talk about this.
I mean, the Lego games are honestly kind of great.
All
of them are in a very like fun, casual way.
Yeah, I can't engage with them too much, but yeah.
I played a little bit of the big Marvel one with my was Max's
Yes.
son, and like this is a game that you can just put in front of a little kid and they can just
Have fun.
yeah.
Exactly.
That's exactly what we want out of a family game.
I'm kind of interested, I guess, in the Lego Batman game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next, best fighting game. Ooh,
Okay,
Ben,
this is
for
another
you.
weird list. So, best fighting game, our list is 2XKO,
That one probably.
Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, Virtua Fighter 5 Revo World Stage. So this is another list where it's clear that the people who made the nominations, who are going to be choosing, they don't fucking know anything about this. They have no idea what they're fucking talking about. They're literally just naming the most popular things that came out this year.
Is Fatal Fury a fighting game, technically?
Yes, and that's the one I think should definitely win.
Okay.
But it's not going to win.
Well, when I imagine fighting games, I imagine in games where it's 2v2, or like not 2v2, but fighting person versus person.
That's exactly what Fatal Fury City of the Wolves is. It's like Street Fighter.
My understanding of Fatal Fury is a series that it's a beat 'em up more.
No, I don't think they've made any beat 'em ups.
Maybe I'm just mistaken. I could just be mistaken. I don't know the genre very well. The only one that I know of is 2XKO, and that's because Northern Lion played it.
So 2XKO, I think will probably win, and I think it is one of them on this list that's actually deserving. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection being on this is insulting.
Because it's not an original game.
It's not even just that it's not an original game. It is that it's a horrible fucking port of a bunch of classic games. Like, it runs like shit. It has a terrible netcode. It has huge input delay. Everybody who knows about this is really pissed about it.
Okay.
Like, this is bad. This should not be nominated for any best of the year kind of thing.
Yep.
Capcom Fighting Collection 2, definitely not bad like Mortal Kombat, but like
it's the same thing.
It's still a collection of old games.
Okay, yeah. And then Virtua Fighter?
I don't know about, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
But I probably should give it more credit. Virtua Fighter is a really cool series.
I'm going to say 2XKO is going to win. My only reasoning for that is because it's the only one of these that I know about, and I'm not into fighting games on any level. So
2XKO will probably win, but Fatal Fury City of the Wolves definitely should.
I will back you on that unknowingly.
It is the newest game by established masters of their craft, like SNK, the creators of the King of Fighters series, the Fatal Fury series, Samurai Showdown. Like, they are Capcom's biggest rivals, or they were the biggest rivals for Capcom in the fighting game space for a long fucking time, you know? And Fatal Fury City of the Wolves is fucking fantastic.
I don't know. Best RPG. Ha!
Okay, wow.
It's so funny.
This is a fun list. There are some legitimate contenders. There's some stuff that doesn't belong here, but there's obviously the one that's going to win. So our nominations for Best RPG are Avowed,
Yep.
Clair Obscura Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, and The Outer Worlds 2.
Okay. So Clair Obscura is going to win this, probably.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's fair, because I also think, spoiler warning, Clair Obscura is going to win Game of the Year.
Yes. That's the thing. It's going to be nominated for a lot of different things, and it's got a very high chance of winning all of them.
Here's what's not going to win.
It's
Avowed is not going to win.
See, I was about to say, it's not going to win. The Outer Worlds 2 is not going to win.
The other one that's not going to win is The Other Worlds 2. Because both of them are, not that interesting or very good. People don't like either of them.
I feel really bad for The Outer Worlds 2 because it was hyped up by Microsoft when it shouldn't have been.
No.
And, Outer Worlds 1 was kind of disappointing, but I wanted them to succeed. I wanted Obsidian to make a Fallout-style game and have it be successful.
Yeah, but there's no people who worked on Fallout still there.
Yeah.
So, what do you expect?
I don't know anything about Avowed besides that it didn't look interesting when it was coming out, and then it did come out, and apparently it was a lot better than a lot of people, than what I was expecting.
My big contention with Avowed is that it is not really what you'd call, or not really what you'd think of when you think of, an RPG. Because it's Obsidian attempting to make Skyrim. That's the idea. And what they do instead of making you a Dragonborn is they make you a fungal thing. So you can make your character, but you have to have a massive, huge deformity that makes you ugly as sin, which a lot of people really hated. And then you don't really interact with any of the people in town. They treat them like they would an older style RPG as opposed to something like Skyrim where you can attack people in town and you can steal and everything.
Because Skyrim is so dedicated to Bethesda's simulation of style.
Yeah. I think Avowed is honestly probably better than people gave it credit for. I think it's more fun than people gave it credit for, but it was also like it came out and then it flopped pretty much instantaneously. No one gave a shit about it, and then here it is. Outer Worlds 2 is almost it's the exact same problem.
Yep. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I'm not a big Kingdom Come guy,
No.
but this game is a big deal.
It is like a lot of people are into it. It's a very specific. I don't know if I would call it an RPG as much as a simulation game.
Even still, like, on this list, it's the only one that I would say even comes close to competing with Clair Obscura for
I would
best
agree.
RPG.
Yeah, because Monster Hunter Wilds is not an RPG.
No, and it was also a very disappointing one compared to, like, the
Worlds.
last Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, some people are into it, but
Yeah, so this is almost certainly Clair Obscura is gonna win, unless they give it to Kingdom Come just for like political reasons, so they don't give Clair Obscura too many wins.
I think Clair Obscura, I honestly deserves the win of this list, which is upsetting to say.
Yeah, because it's probably gonna win Best Game of the Year.
Yep. Let's go back more. Best action/adventure.
Holy shit, this is a hard one. Okay, this is the good. So this is what.
This is annoying.
I talked about the genres that the people nominate that they don't know what they're talking about. Like, no, this was a very good game for action adventure.
Very good year.
Very good year. Sorry, very good year for action adventure games. I nearly said action adventure years.
The nominations are
Your turn.
Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Ghosts of Yotai, Hollow Knight Silksong, Indiana Jones: The Great Circle, and Split Fiction.
Okay, Split Fiction has been nominated a lot, and I'm like, I can't imagine it winning any of these categories most of the time.
I have a theory on which one's going to win.
I also have that
I
theory.
don't want it to be the one that wins.
Interesting.
I think that Indiana Jones: The Great Circle should win.
Interesting.
I think that Death Stranding's going to win.
I think Hollow Knight Silksong's going to win.
Because it's not going to win Game of the Year.
Yeah, and I think it's going to win this.
I could see that. My thinking is that they're going to give something to Hideo Kojima pretty much no matter what. I don't think it's going to be Game of the Year, and I don't know what else it's going to be seen again.
I mean, the thing is that low-key, I think... Okay, so Death Stranding 2 On the Beach has been very, very well received.
Yes.
It has had none of the criticisms that the original Death Stranding does. People are, like, so much more into this than they ever were before.
I think that's actually a lot to do with the time it took to make, because Death Stranding 1 came out, people hated it. Over time, though, it kind of resurgence. I think we've talked about it, but yeah, it really came back.
Indiana
and
Jones. Indiana Jones was a game that I personally did not care about. I was not excited about it. I didn't understand why people were excited about it. And then it came out, and I'm like, oh, wow, they just made a really fucking good Indiana Jones game.
They really did.
Like,
it's really cool.
my friend Dylan, who was telling me about Hitman, he also loves this Indiana Jones game, and I'm like, yeah, it's just a big... Because there's never going to be another good Indiana Jones movie, you know, ever again.
No, Harrison Ford's too old.
But apparently, was it Troy Baker who did the voice in this?
I have no idea.
His fucking impression is incredible. It's like he sounds perfect.
It was probably him or Nolan North, who knows?
I think one of the weird, disappointing ones is Ghosts of Yotai, because by all accounts, it is, like, absolutely excellent, but it's kind of disappointing compared to Ghosts of Tsushima, and also it's competing against all of this.
Yeah. I don't think Split Fiction's gonna win, just because I don't really think it matches this category, to be honest.
I mean, it is an action game, kind of.
I guess, but, like, it's an action game that's so specifically, notably, and intentionally reduced in scope so that anyone can play it, pretty much. I don't know.
There's 5 games on this list, and I can think of 4 of them that I think would probably win over Split Fiction.
Exactly, yeah. And then obviously Hollow Knight Silksong. I think that is a very good potential. It's either going to be Hollow Knight Silksong or Death Stranding 2.
I think you're right though in that I think I kind of want Indiana Jones. I
I
don't even like it's a Bethesda game, you know?
Yeah.
And I fucking hate Bethesda, but like if the fact that they did so well on something that I had no expectations for, you know?
That's probably a big part of like why we're so, you know,
yeah, I've got warmer feelings than I otherwise would have because I didn't care before, you know?
Exactly. But yeah, that's the one I want to win. It's probably going to be one of these two. My vote's going to be Death Stranding 2. Your vote is Hollow Knight Silksong.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Silksong that gets it.
Previous. Best action game.
Oh my god.
Okay, I know which one's going to win.
So this, I do want to quote Maximilian Dude when he was like going through this list of what game should have been on there and which game should not be on this list.
Okay.
But first of all, the nominations for Best Action Game are Battlefield 6, Doom: The Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance. What's your opinion here?
The one that I believe is going to win is Hades 2.
I think so as well.
Because I think they need to put... Hades 2 needs to win something.
Yeah, I think they're going to want to give some sort of award to Hades 2 just for existing, and it sucks that it came out the same year as Silk Song.
Yep.
Because otherwise, it would be the shoo-in for all the best indie, best action, best whatever, low budget, whatever. Shinobi Art of Vengeance, if you don't know about this one, it was... So there was 2 different games developed by 2 different halves of a studio that made Streets of Rage 4.
Okay.
And we've talked a lot about the other one already, and that's
Yes.
Absalom. And the other game made by the other half of the team was Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
Gotcha.
And it's fucking fantastic. It is so good.
Yeah.
It is just an absolutely fucking amazing action game.
Would that be your pick of these?
I haven't played it, so I don't know. I've heard good things about Ninja Gaiden 4, and the fact is that like people who I thought would have just chosen Ninja Gaiden 4 are saying, I think Shinobi Art of Vengeance deserves it more, and I'm like, mind blown, you know?
Yeah. Me personally, I would put Hades 2. I think Hades 2 is probably the best of the ones on here because I don't give a fuck about Doom the Dark Ages, as nobody fucking does.
Nobody does. And that's what I was going to say. Max Dude is the one who pointed out. It's like, Doom the Dark Ages shouldn't be on this list. Absalom should be on the list.
Yeah, I agreed 100%.
Like, Absalom shouldn't win.
No, but it should be on the list.
But it deserves on the list more than Doom the Dark Ages, which
Only...
frankly was disappointing compared to Doom Eternal.
I think, yeah, pretty much. Battlefield 6 is like a game, but like it's a Battlefield game. I don't know.
I've never played Battlefield.
It's not your style. You would not like it.
Well, I don't even know what the response to Battlefield 6 has really been.
It's been pretty good. People who like it.
But otherwise, it's not exciting.
If
you're
into
relevant.
Battlefield games, it's pretty cool. The only other thing that's cool about it besides that is if you're into the like Halo Forge, because they have their own Forge.
There you go.
That's pretty cool.
I love that kind of shit.
I would say for me, because I don't know nothing about Shinobi, I'm gonna say even though I did really like Absalom, Hades 2 is probably going to win, and I think it'd be the one that I want to win. But Shinobi's maybe a second. I don't know about it.
It makes me kind of sad that Ninja Gaiden 4 isn't as much of a part of the discussion that you would imagine it would be.
I don't pay attention to the Ninja Gaiden series on like any level, so I don't know.
I mean, at its peak, it was one of the best like pure action series of games, just like Devil May Cry, you know. This is being developed by Team Ninja and also with Platinum Games and everything, and it was like a big deal, and it's a big revival, and it is really good.
Yep.
But like, who cares about these giant fucking AAA games? And you have Hades 2.
Also,
and Silk Song.
This is another reason why Alex doesn't do this with us regularly, because he would not love this discussion at all.
Nope.
Previous. I did it.
Because he don't know about video games.
Best VR/AR.
I don't have an opinion on this list.
I don't either. I don't pay attention to this.
We'll just go through it real quick. The nominations for Best VR are Alien Rogue Incursion, Arcane Age, Ghost Town, Marvel's Deadpool VR, The Midnight Walk. I have no idea what would be good, what is considered overrated.
You know what's fucking furious about this?
What?
Considering our discussion last week about VR and everything, I really wish I knew about any of these games, because these all look kind of the pictures look kind of cool.
Yeah, they do. I can also imagine any of these being good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess, out of all of these, the ones I'm most intrigued by is Alien Rogue Incursion. I think that would be a terrifying game to play in VR. You know,
my guess would be The Midnight Walk as far as who wins.
I'd love that art.
I don't have a good reason, but that's just a general guess.
Well, if it's a fucking VR platformer, I hate those, man.
Well, we won't know until after this. I don't know.
I don't know. Moving on. We don't have anything to say about it.
Yep.
I have no idea who's gonna win. We're not even gonna bother guessing.
I guessed one.
Best mobile game.
All right, so I know which one's winning here.
You read this one, man.
Destiny Rising, Persona 5, The Phantom X, Sonic Rumble, Uma Mutsume, Pretty Derby, and Wuthering Waves.
I have only heard about one of these, and it's the one I definitely think should win.
Is it Uma Mutsume?
It's definitely Uma Mutsume, Pretty Derby.
Yeah, that one's the one that I'm guaranteeing pretty much will win this one. I would almost put money on it. Wuthering Waves is another gacha game. I don't know enough about it to be able to comment on it, but I know that it is a gacha game by looking at it.
What about Persona 5, The Phantom X? Like,
I don't have any idea what's going on with the Persona series. My friends, Nathan, and other friends of mine have told me that I should play Persona, even though I don't like JRPGs and I don't really like dating sims, because they do both of them so well that you will enjoy it.
I kind of also think you should try them.
I'm not against trying it. It's just at this point I have no fucking idea what Persona 5 is because there's 40 Persona 5 games with a million different titles and I don't understand what's happening.
I think you want Persona 5 R, not Persona 5S. I don't know.
There's Persona 5 Gold. I don't fucking know. I don't know much about Destiny Rising and Sonic Rumble, but I do think that Destiny Rising should be removed from everything because Destiny is a blight on the gaming industry, and I hate it.
Yeah, I fucking hate it too. Maybe it deserves to win. I don't care. I don't want it to.
If Sonic Rumble is an AR game where you have to like go to like an AR mobile game like Pokemon, I think that'd be really cool, but I don't know enough about it.
When it comes to Sonic games, I just assume it's bad unless I hear that it's one of those miraculous good Sonic games. Since I haven't heard this is really good, I'm just going to imagine that as, typical of Sonic games from Sega.
The only one of these that I've actually genuinely heard about is Umamusume. Umamusume?
Musume. I don't know.
It's
the horse racing game we've talked about on the podcast previously.
That's gonna win.
Yeah, it's gonna. And I kind of want it to.
Yeah, that's the only way I would care to. Best debut indie game. Okay.
Debut indie game. So this is
a very frustrating list for me.
For the best debut game created by a new independent studio. Yeah, it's a frustrating list. So our nominations, we only got 4 this time. Blueprints, Clair Obscura Expedition 33, Despolate
looks like,
and Dispatch.
Okay, I think there actually is a thing that happened with this one. I'm pretty sure that there was another game on here. I can't remember the name of it, but there was another game on here, and the
creator wanted it removed from the nominations.
Actually, do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it either. It had like a picture of like a knight or something like bashing.
Oh, Megabonk.
Megabonk, yeah, that's it. So Megabonk was originally one of the nominations, and it was removed.
Yes. Okay, so I'm basically certain that Blueprints is going to win.
Yeah, I also agree with that.
Because Clair Obscura is going to win 2 of them already. Nobody has any idea what Despolate is. I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't know it.
It's probably fantastic. It's
giving me Earthbound vibes.
It's clearly made by like Hispanic developers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe Spanish, just going by those names, or like Puerto Rican or something. Or I was Puerto Rican. I meant Portuguese. I really do not know. But I'm like looking at like this looks stylish. This looks personal.
Yep.
It's not gonna win.
No.
Dispatch I've heard about.
I've told you about it. I think that it should be in. I definitely think it should be in the running because I think I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's on my list to play. We talked about who's doing it. It's got fucking Aaron Paul and Moist Critical and
that's the one. Yeah.
I don't think Clair Obscura is going to win, even though I don't think it should win.
I don't think it deserves to win. I don't think it deserves to be treated like an indie game.
No, it's not really an indie game. I mean, it is and it isn't,
So, Clair Obscura, we were talking about, I don't know if we talked, because we did that thing where we started recording and then we didn't actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, I thought originally it was produced by Square Enix, and I was just completely wrong. It has a different, not
producer, developer?
Yeah, not developer. The people like EA, publisher.
Yeah, publisher.
It has a completely different publisher. It is a published game, so it's not independent.
No.
But the publisher is small. Like they're smaller than say Devolver Digital.
Yeah.
Devolver Digital games everyone treats as indie games, but like the reality is that like Devolver Digital has a lot of money to throw around nowadays.
Yeah, I mean they do focus on indie games, but yeah. And Dispatch is kind of the same way. It's definitely an indie game technically because it's got like one studio, but it also has fucking Aaron Paul in it. Somebody funded that shit.
Yeah.
Blueprints, on the other hand, it needed to win something because Blueprints was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be this, and it deserves it because Blueprints is awesome.
Yeah, I agree that it's going to win, and I think it's what I want to win.
Boop. Previous best independent game.
Hey, Absalom was nominated for something.
Bollocks Pit should not be here. Let's go through them. Absalom. We've talked about it. You know about it. Ball X Pit, Blueprints, Clair Obscura Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silksong.
So what's the category exactly? I want to read this description. Best independent game for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. Okay. That is an interesting way of putting it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting way of trying to create that.
Because there is a fucking gulf of difference between Hollow Knight Silksong and Clair Obscura 33.
And Absalom.
And Absalom, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Absalom, I don't think it technically counts as an indie game at all. It's definitely a small budget game.
Yeah.
It's got a small publisher. It's got small development teams.
I don't know what traditional publisher system is intended to mean.
Well, like, so Absalom by Guard Crush and Super Monks and Dotemu. So they were, like I said, they originally were part of the team that made Streets of Rage 4, and that was published by Sega. You know, that was clear cut. This is not an indie game. This is just a small game. Hollow Knight Silksong is 100% an indie game. As massive as it is, it's developed by 3 people.
Yep, like 3 or 4, I think.
And yeah, it's got a lot of money to throw around, but only because Hollow Knight was so fucking successful.
I'd say Hades 2 is the same way.
Same thing with Hades 2, yeah.
I don't think Bollocks Pit deserves to be on here just because Bollocks Pit is only Dece. It gets fine. It's okay. I don't hate it at all. It's not a bad game, but it's also not like that amazing.
It's published by Devolver Digital, which less and less I treat like I treat those games less and less as indie games anymore.
So I don't think Claire's gonna win. I think this might be the one where Hollow Knight wins, because I think Hades is the only one the previous one we talked about this, but I think this is the one that Hollow Knight wins early on, especially because we're nearing the end of the list. I think this is the one.
Maybe. I don't think it should be Clair Obscura though.
No, it shouldn't be Clair Obscura. If it was up to me, I honestly might pick Absalom.
I will say, the one thing that this is proving to me, though, especially this year and all the successful games, all the biggest games this year, they were made by small teams.
Yep.
They were made by small, dedicated teams of, like, artists with, like, a vision.
Well, AAA games have barely done anything.
Yeah.
Pretty much Battlefield 6 is the only, like, big AAA game I know about this year that I can think about, besides maybe Elden Ring.
Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, I barely consider that AAA.
Well, it is, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
it's just because it's the Nintendo version of AAA, where they don't put in as much effort.
When I think about AAA, I'm thinking, like, Microsoft and EA and Activision.
You imagine games that look like Clair Obscura Expedition 33.
Exactly.
Moving on. Oh, wow. That's an interesting category. Best community support. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches. I don't think this should be a category, but I don't know. This is an interesting one.
I'm angry.
Can you read our nominations?
We have Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy
14.
Fortnite
14.
Okay. Helldivers 2 and No Man's Sky. Didn't Final Fantasy 14 come out like 10 years ago?
Yeah, but it's been supported ever since. It's an MMO. It's still being actively played.
I thought it was a different game. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah,
I have a problem with this one.
Yeah, I do too.
Do you know what my problem is?
What?
Helldivers 2.
Why?
Helldivers 2, rather famously, I think it might have been last year, but at the beginning of last year, or this year, or the end of last year, was the Sony fiasco, where they had...
That's right.
They had the Sony thing where the game was published by Sony. It was over across, like, it had millions of sold copies, and it was in, like, every country. And then Sony was like, you have to have a Sony account to be able to play this game, and a bunch of countries don't have the ability to do that. So the people who bought the game in those countries lost access to their game because Sony was being fucking stupid.
And did they fix that?
They have, as far as I remember, fixed that.
But you don't think they should get brownie points for fixing a problem that they created?
Exactly. They literally created an artificial problem that didn't do anything for anyone or help anyone at all for no reason, and fucked over a bunch of their community for quite a while. Because it was like, I thought it was over like 6 to 8 months for that period. That's crazy.
So Final Fantasy XIV, I'm just going to point out, is an MMO. It's gotten exactly as much support as it should have gotten as an MMO all these years. I don't think it's anything special.
No.
Baldur's Gate 3 is a single-player game. I don't understand why it's getting so much support after the fact, but I guess it is, so I guess that's kind of interesting.
They did do a thing where they added a bunch of new classes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky is the famous, this game came out like dog shit on release and went through the full-on redemption arc. And, like, one of the reasons I don't think this category should exist is because technically No Man's Sky should just win every single year so long as it continue improving.
I'm thinking, yeah.
And then, actually, I kind of want to point out Fortnite. I've never played Fortnite, but, like, this year Fortnite has done more interesting shit than they've ever done before. Like that whole fucking Simpsons thing.
Yes, that's so cool.
The first time I've ever wanted to play Fortnite is like, wait, you can just run around fucking Springfield?
Yeah, and they also have a bunch of different game modes now, so you don't have to just play the Battle Royale. You can play like Guitar Hero.
Like I'm not. It's not gonna get me into Fortnite. I'm not gonna lose my Fortnite virginity anytime fucking soon. But like,
I might go back.
I kind of think they do deserve that nomination for that.
I don't think Helldivers 2 should be on this list. I think it's kind of pathetic that they are. I don't think that Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win. Because, like, they didn't done, like, that much. To my knowledge, they haven't done that much. I don't know.
I think this is going to go to Fortnite this year.
I'm kind of hoping it goes to Fortnite, even though if it's not Fortnite, it will be No Man's Sky. Those are the two options.
I hate Fortnite. I hate Epic Games. I kind of hate its community. I think it deserves to win this.
Yeah, I agree.
Weird, right?
I don't hate Fortnite as much. I think it's, like, bad for reasons, but as a game, it's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's fair.
Best ongoing. What the fuck does that mean? Come on, fucking Jeff Keighley. Are you fucking jerking me off?
Awarded to a game for most outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time.
How is this different from the last category we just talked about? It's got all the same nominations.
Question. It does not. It has one different one, Ben. Marvel Rivals is different.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't have Baldur's Gate 3, the one that wasn't a multiplayer online game.
It's got Marvel Rivals, Ben. Marvel Rivals should not win because Marvel Rivals fucked up their entire like game for like a 3-month period.
The nominations are Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and No Man's Sky. It's the same list as last time, but swap out
Baldur's Gate
with Marvel Rivals. Same thing. I think Fortnite should win. Moving on.
I think that one of them is going. Fortnite's going to win one of them, and then No Man's Sky is going to win the other one.
Fair. You know what? I bet it'll be Fortnite will be best ongoing, and then No Man's Sky will be best community support.
I almost guarantee that. Marvel Rivals should not be on this list because they fucked up their shit so bad that people stopped playing. In fact, our mutual friend Mike was really into Marvel Rivals for a while, and then they did that, and he stopped playing.
So that's why it wasn't on the other one, because Helldivers 2 they fixed it.
Yeah, but it's not best ongoing.
I don't know, man. Moving on.
Games for Impact. What the
for
fuck?
A thought-provoking game with a pro-social messenger meaning. Fuck off. This is the we're giving out brownie points for like whatever. I don't know most of these games, but let's go through it real quick. The nominations are Consume Me,
okay,
Desperate, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, South of Midnight, and Wanderstop. I think I've heard of South of Midnight. Is that the one with the like?
Yeah, it's definitely one you've heard about.
That Louisiana Bayou setting with the really cool art style.
Yep.
All right, I'm just gonna say that one.
South of Midnight. I've heard of Wanderstop a little bit. I don't care about this category very much. So
the thing is that I'm sure I would love all these games. I'm sure I would appreciate all these games. I'm sure I would want all of them to get more attention than they do. I don't think the Game Awards is the place to get that.
Here is the thing for me. I am sure that I would appreciate all of them. I don't think that I would enjoy playing most of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're probably good for their narratives and their story, and they have interesting like comments on society and whatnot. But like
also cool art styles. Like I'm looking at Consume Me has a cool paper art style.
Yeah,
Desperate has a cool looking art style.
Lost Records, Blue and Rage look lame as fuck.
I know South of Midnight looks cool because I remember the trailers and it looked cool.
South of Midnight is probably gonna win. I bet they made this entire they didn't make this like category for it, but I bet they wanted to make sure that this game was recognized because nobody gave a shit about it after it released.
Yeah, I see this as capitalist appropriation of real art, and I don't actually care about this category.
Innovation and accessibility. I don't know enough about this one.
Okay, so innovation and accessibility, we're rating the accessibility options of games, which is not something I typically look into.
Adding features. Okay.
Our nominations are Assassin's Creed Shadows, Atomfall, Doom: The Dark Ages, EA Sports FC 26, and South of Midnight. So this is... It's a weird thing to have a category for an award like this, but at the same time, it's like, I definitely want more promotion, more pushing of it. Accessibility is just good.
That's how I feel entirely. I don't know what to say beyond that. I have no clue who should win this. I don't have any idea.
Yeah, I haven't played any of these games. I've not looked at any of their accessibility options. I feel like this is almost something you could quantify. Like you could just go through each of these settings and just like, okay, who's got the most options? Who's got the best, support? Who's got the best presets? Who allows the most accessibility? Right? I imagine Doom: The Dark Ages is definitely up there. Because I know id Software and how they do shit. I actually imagine Assassin's Creed Shadows should be up there.
I don't know.
But I don't know.
I think my only thought is my understanding, my very loose understanding is of these games, Adamfall is the best game.
Yeah.
There's video game. That's the only one I know about that's any good.
All right, let's vote for that one then.
That one is going to win. We don't know enough. Best performance.
Ooh, we're talking about voice actors today.
Oof.
Okay, our nominations for Best Performance are Ben Starr for his character in Clair Obscura Expedition 33, Charlie Cox for his character in Clair Obscura Expedition 33, Erika Ishii for her character Ghost of Yotei, Jennifer English for her character in Clair Obscura Expedition 33. My God. Konatsu Kato for Silent Hill F, and Troy Baker for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So, fucking Clair Obscura manages to get 3 more nominations all in one category because it has such tremendously good acting and voice acting and writing.
Arguably disagree. I think this is more a celebration of the individuals. The games is almost irrelevant.
Well, Troy Baker, I mentioned before. I wasn't sure if it was him, but it's him, and he got nominated, so I guess someone was on the same wavelength as me.
My thought process is that's either going to be Konatsu Kato or Troy Baker.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't have any other thoughts on the rest of them. I don't think Ghost of Yotei was that great, like, notably for their performance. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear anything about it, but I know that I've heard about both of those two, so one of them.
The video I watched earlier today of someone going over their own predictions said Ben Starr for Clair Obscura Expedition 33, but I wouldn't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think Troy Baker should definitely... I think he deserves it, and I think Konatsu Kato definitely deserves it.
I would like to see Konatsu Kato win. I don't know. I don't have a good reason for that. I just don't. I do have a good reason for that. I don't want Troy Baker to win because I feel like he's won this. I feel like he has the potential to win this every single fucking year.
Fair enough.
Is he the guy who like a few years ago was like, if you want to get into voice acting in video games, the first thing you need to do is wait for Nolan North and I to die?
Yeah.
Which is really funny, but also true.
And I don't blame them nearly as much as I blame the people hiring voice actors. You know?
Well, I guess, but like, it's also an element of like they know who to talk to get a job.
Yep.
I don't know who to talk to. Best audio design. Clair Obscura is going to win this.
Yeah. Okay. Our nominations. Your turn.
Battlefield 6, Clair Obscura 33, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghosts of Yotei, and Silent Hill F. I've been realizing I've been saying ghosts.
Yeah, I also been saying ghosts. I've always assumed it was ghosts plural.
Huh.
Kind of like Aldi's. You ever notice how most people say it's Aldi's, but it's actually just Aldi?
Well, I don't know, because the thing about Ghost of Yotei is it's the same as Ghost of Tsushima, where you're the ghost.
Yeah.
Weird.
So,
Clair Obscura.
I think it should be Silent Hill. For audio design, 100%. For a fucking survival horror game, 100%. Have you watched any footage of this game? It's so squelchy.
It's so good. It's perfect for that thing, but Clair Obscura's music's really good.
Okay, but music isn't audio design. It's like, it's something that drives me nuts.
I know.
I'm like, we're talking about sound effects. We're talking about sound design. We're talking about the immersion. We're not talking about how good the music is.
Honestly,
that's soundtrack, you know?
Quite frankly, I don't think Clair Obscura or Ghost of Yotei should be on this list if we're talking about that. Not that they're bad at that, but like, I know Battlefield 6's audio is really good for what it's trying to do.
Yeah. This is something I know Battlefield probably does something fucking excellent with. Death
Stranding, I can very much imagine that they spent like $1 billion on getting the sand to sound right when you step on it. I could see that.
You can hear all the shifting pebbles of sand beneath your feet.
And then Silent Hill F, it's a horror game. If anything, this should be the secret horror game.
Like if you want to make if you want to make a really good survival horror game, you have to have good sound design. It's like the most important thing.
Yeah. I still think it's going to be Clair Obscura. The only other one I could think could be in contention would be Death Stranding, so they can give Kojima something. Because they love Kojima. Beyond that, I just can't
Because Kojima
see.
loves himself.
Yes. Well, so does Jeff Keighley.
So does Jeff Keighley.
Battlefield 6 and Silent Hill F are the two contenders in my mind.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think it's probably gonna be Silent Hill. I would think it should be Silent Hill of the two, but still. Previous.
There we go. Best score and music.
Okay, so, you read the. I don't want to read the names.
Okay, for Christopher Larkin, his soundtrack for Hollow Knight Silksong.
Yep.
Darren Korb for the soundtrack Hades 2. Lorian Testard for the soundtrack of Clair Obscura Expedition 33. Toma Otawa for the soundtrack of Ghost of Yotei. Woodkid and Ludwig Forsell for the soundtrack of Death Stranding 2 On the Beach.
Okay, so now they have this one.
It's gonna be Clair Obscura.
It's gonna be Clair Obscura. I actually think I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Honestly,
I've heard enough of the music from that.
I want to go back real quick.
Back to audio design.
Now that we know that the last one is an option, I don't think this is gonna be Clair Obscura. I think it's probably gonna be.
You think it's gonna be Death Stranding?
Yes.
Yeah. The thing is that it's weird. I actually think it's a little weird that Silksong got nominated for this one. Maybe I didn't get far enough into the game.
Did you fight the dancers?
No, I know about the dancers.
The dancers are kind
of clockwork dancers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the music in that is so fucking perfect for what you're doing. I think that I do remember when I played Silksong that I mentioned the music as something I really enjoyed about it, and I never mentioned the music because I never really care. So that's notable to me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if it was up to me, I'd rather pick Silksong of the options, but that's only because I haven't played Clair Obscura and don't plan to.
I know Clair Obscura is definitely going to win this category.
Yeah, it had excellent music. That's like the second thing you hear about it beside it being like the best game ever.
Good music has been in video games for a long time, though, and it's like one of those things where it's never been as appreciated as much as it should be.
I agree with you. All right, next one. Best art direction. These are familiar.
Wow, I think wait. Can you press the next button again? Okay, yeah, I had to confirm. It's the same list. They just rearranged it.
It's the exact same list as last time.
So our best art direction nominations are...
One more time. Clair Obscura Expedition 33. Death Stranding 2 On the Beach. Ghosts of Yotei. Hades 2. Hollow Knight Silksong. It's just Ghosts now. I'm just calling it Ghosts. I'm just owning it.
Okay, so this is a weird one because with the exception of Clair Obscura Expedition 33... all of these art styles are just a copy of the art style of the games that they are sequels to.
Yeah.
And all of them have incredible fucking good art styles. Let's just not talk about these games specifically, but Death Stranding 1 and 2, Ghost of Tsushima and Yotei, Hades 1 and 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Hollow Knight and Silksong.
Yep.
Could you choose between those? Because these are all really good art styles.
Define choose.
Well, what's the best of those? What do you think deserves the best art style recognition out of those games?
Well, it's art, so I don't actually think they should be compared.
Yeah, but...
if I had to choose, I'd say Hades.
Interesting, okay.
I just think Hades 2 looks really good for what it is. I think Silksong is an excellent-looking game, but I don't think that it's... I think that it is exactly what it needs to be. I don't think it's anything special, if that makes sense.
Ghost of Yotei is probably the one that gets yanked out the first because it probably gets knocked off the list of the first because it looks notably worse than Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Because of the region it takes place in, there is so much rain and fog, you don't actually get to see how beautiful the game can be a lot of the time.
Plus, it's also just like kind of a general generic 3D action game that you can...
I mean, you say that, but Tsushima looked fucking gorgeous.
I'm not saying it didn't, but like it's like when it kind of just reminds you of a fucking Ubisoft game. Well, and I'm not saying that's bad necessarily because they can look pretty good, but like...
Well, take Death Stranding. When we're talking about the art design, we're talking about like the designs of the technology, you know, the way the weird shadow monsters look. Like, it's a really cool and interesting looking game.
Yeah.
But...
it's also a sequel.
I think this is just another one that Clair Obscura is going to win.
I don't think Clair Obscura is going to win this one.
I don't think it's going to win because it is nominated for too many things. But I actually think it deserves to win this one.
I do think it deserves to win this one because it's the only one that's not a sequel.
It's also an incredible looking game.
Yes.
Not just in terms of graphical fidelity, but like its art style is
every single element. The way the fucking the damage numbers look is so cool. I agree with you. I think that it deserves to win. I don't think it's going to win. I think this is going to go to either Hades or Silksong, whichever
I
one
agree
hasn't
with that.
gotten enough attention.
I think probably Hades. Ooh, wow.
I'm thinking Hades.
I don't think because Silksong, because they're gonna have to make a thing about Game Awards, which is why we're doing predictions more than we're talking about what we think is going to win. Is that there's politics behind it. We know that certain things are going to win because they're popular. And we need to see the popular things get a certain number of wins under their belt. It's why Nintendo always has a category specific to itself so that we can appease the Nintendo fans.
Yeah.
And Silksong and Hades 2 coming out in the same year is such a fucking bonkers thing to happen here.
My theory is I'm Hades 2. If it's not Hades 2, it will be Silksong. It's gonna be Hades 2. I just think Hades 2 looks better than Silksong as far as like what they're trying to do. I think Silksong looks great, excellent video game, and I love its look. But
I agree with you, and I think Silksong still has a chance of winning over Hades 2 for political reasons.
That's
if that
fair.
Makes sense.
Yeah, well, if one of them didn't win enough, the other
it's not that
it
doesn't deserve it because
No.
it does. Man, that's a hard category to choose.
I agree.
I'm getting more and more pissed off by that strategy / simulation category. Oh wow, that's an interesting, familiar looking list of. So under our category is best narrative.
Yep.
Can you read out the titles for us, Ryan?
Claire Obscura, Expedition 33. Never heard of it. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. Ghost of Yotai. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Silent Hill F.
I know too much about the plots of all these games. Despite having not played them, I know about the plots of these. It's gonna be Claire Obscura, Expedition 33, and it should be.
I would like it to be Silent Hill F because I think Silent Hill F is kind of cool the way they do their story, but I also think it's really annoying to play physically as a video game.
I wish Claire Obscura came out by itself one year and no other games came out, and then we wouldn't have to compete against it.
I think that we should probably just have a different category for it entirely. Like this is the Claire Obscura part. This is where we just every category Claire Obscura wins.
The story category really, because if all the things that it does well, it's graphical fidelity, it's art style, it's music, it's writing, it's the narrative that is the strongest part of it. It's the thing that everybody's talking about.
That's the thing that Mike was talking about a lot when he played it. And Mike is not someone who gives a shit about story usually, not as much anyway.
Best game direction.
Shut the fuck up, Hideo Kojima.
Oh hey, Split Fiction, I forgot about them.
All right, Claire Obscura, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yotai, Hades 2, Split Fiction. Can you tell I'm getting annoyed?
Okay, this is one I don't think necessarily Claire Obscura needs to win automatically.
No.
But then again, we've got 1, 2, 3 sequels, meaning the gameplay is just, at best, an evolution of what came before. Whereas Claire Obscura had that kind of rhythm system that was kind of new.
The Harry system they had.
And even though that's not the best part of the game or the most notable part of the game, it's just another cool thing in that game. It's the original part. It's more original than these other 3 nominations. So it's it's such a weird thing for me to categorize.
You're not reading the word direction. You know what
best
direction
game
requires?
Direction.
That requires a director.
All right. Well, do they list the director?
No, they do not. But you know who the director of Death Stranding is.
You think? Yeah. You know what? You're right. You're right. This is 100% the Death Stranding 2 on the Beach shoe-in.
Yes.
Because, everyone knows, you have your best movie and your best director nominations.
Yep.
And it's always the 2 big ones, and they always go to the 2 separate things.
Yep. Split Fiction is the only other one I think would really be a big contender in this, in my personal opinion. I don't think Ghost of Yotai does much that different, to my knowledge.
Ghost of Yotai just didn't get the hype.
No.
It does. The hype did not match the quality. The quality is there, but it wasn't exciting.
And then Hades 2 is really good, and it's got a lot of really cool shit in it. But I just kind of, the fact that it was in early access is another part of that one.
I wonder why Silksong didn't get nominated.
That's a good ass question. I don't know.
Maybe it's because they were a little bit too outside that traditional publisher system for the Game Awards.
There we go, the big one.
Our big category. So. It's so weird which game is the odd one out.
Kingdom Come.
Our nominations for Game of the Year: Claire Obscura, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It has been a good fucking year for video games, my friend.
Excellent year.
We know what's going to win this one.
Claire Obscura, we've alluded to many times, is going to win.
We think it could win all those other categories, but if they decide not to let it win those other categories, it's still going to win this one.
Yeah, this is almost a Garen fucking T. Like, okay, Hades 2 is excellent. Silk Song is excellent. I love them. If it was up to me, if I was the one who got to pick, I would probably pick Silk Song.
I would too. And I think if they do a fan vote, it will win that for sure.
Yes. But all of these are in contention depending on, I don't know, minor changes to things. Like if you're going exclusive to Switch 2, for example, then Donkey Kong's in it.
And that's the funny thing. If we were just talking about this in the first half of the year, Donkey Kong would have been much more in the running. Yeah. And now I think it is easily the weakest title on this list.
I personally think Kingdom Come's a little weaker, but I think that's a reasonable... I think they're both the same, actually, if I think about it really honestly. Because I've heard like a little bit about Kingdom Come, but not that much.
Kingdom Come, it's got its beautiful historical simulation.
Yep.
Donkey Kong got its pure visceral gameplay fun.
Yep.
Like they definitely both deserve recognition for being as incredible as they are at what they are trying to be.
I would say, and I think Hades 2 and Silk Song also belong here. One of them doesn't. I think that's Death Stranding 2.
You know what? I agree. I think as much as Death Stranding 2 is as good as it is and everything, I think it's getting more attention than it kind of deserves given the year it came out.
God, I wonder why.
I don't want to be mean to it because I think it deserves so much, but I also think that like it's so much less interesting than so many other. Fucking Silk Song. I fell off of Silk Song. I haven't fucking gone back to it since I last said I was playing it. But like, my God, I can't not be like, no, this is definitely the most interesting, best game of the year. This is one of the most interesting things to happen in the video gaming industry. You know?
Yeah.
Like such a small game being so fucking successful. I say small, but like such a humble game being so fucking successful.
It literally broke Steam. It broke I had to buy it on GOG.
It broke the collective fucking brains of thousands. I still see Silk. So I didn't realize Silk posting was going to keep going on after the game came out. And some of the shit that I saw confused the fuck out of me. Like, you know how we were talking about how much we loved Hornet's characterization and her dialogue and how well she's written? I would see, like, screenshots of, like, things that are close enough to, like, how she talks, but she's, like, blatantly rude or, like, classist or something. Yeah. Like, she's calling people peasants, and I'm like, wait, is that an actual screenshot? What the fuck's going on? It's like, get out of my way, peasants. I'm like, she's not mean like that.
No. She would say, like, fellow countrymen or some shit like that. Yeah, I just think Death Stranding 2 is here because they really like Kojima, and that's fine, kinda. I don't dislike Kojima. I kinda wish he would make more games like Metal Gear, personally, because I really like the Metal Gear games, but that's fair.
I want more games like Snatcher.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know what that is.
Snatcher's really cool.
One thing I would like to point, we went through all the games. I don't think there's anything else. One thing I didn't think about as we were talking about it, where is the best mobile game?
Best mobile game right there.
There's a game I've been playing, Ben, that is not on this list, and I think maybe should be.
What game is that?
It is Gunnar Slay the Spire.
Pause.
What do you need?
Did you say Gunnar?
I did.
Slay the Spire?
I did.
Is it a spin-off?
No.
Is it a...
It's not actually its name. But that's what it's colloquially understood to be.
What is it? What is this game?
It's called Chaos Zero Nightmare.
Okay.
It is a gacha game.
It's a gacha deck building roguelite.
You play it like Slay the Spire, like literally, but you have like 3 characters instead of like your one character, and each of their cards are in the same deck, and they kind of have different like abilities and like concepts, each one of them, and they can kind of go in work together as you play. So you'll have like one that is really good at going through the deck and milling the entire thing, and one that uses a lot of cards.
Yeah. So, and I'm guessing its other thing besides being a good one of those is also it's horny.
Gigantic titties.
Yeah, just super horny. Yeah.
The horny bit's not as interesting to me. Genuinely, like it's not unlike I don't dislike it, and they've got dudes too. So there's that. For the ladies.
For me personally, I'm like, I am all for tons and tons of sexualized content, but can it please be a little less sexist? Like, let's just even the shit out. You know, even it out.
Put more hunky dudes in my gacha game, please.
So, is Stellar Blade Gunnar Nier Automata?
Yeah. Well, no, it can't be Gunnar Nier Automata because Nier Automata is Gunnar.
Yeah, but it's like double Gunnar Nier Automata. It's like, let's just do the same premise again about like an android in the future, and she's sexy, but she's like really sexy this time.
I don't think they're very similar in gameplay though, because Nier Automata is really weird.
Nier Automata is an action game. It's a character action game.
Yeah, but like it's got like
it's a weird character action.
It's got
game.
like fucking bullet hell stuff.
Yeah, it's a weird game.
Yeah, it's not bad. I haven't played it, but I know it's not bad. But yes, no, I think that should be on here. It came out like a month or two ago, and I think it's better than all of these. It's the only mobile game that I care about on any level at all, besides maybe Marvel Rivals. Not Marvel Rivals, Marvel Snap.
I can't remember the last mobile game I ever fucking bothered playing. It's a genre. I mean, my problem isn't even necessarily the games that get made for mobile devices. It's the fact that phones aren't good game controllers.
Well, that's why they're good for card games.
Fair enough.
That's the only thing they're good for, is card games. Balatro is the only other one I have on my phone besides Peglin. And Balatro's pretty good.
I did play Peglin. Peglin's okay.
I love Peglin.
I have the demo of Peglin on my phone still.
Yeah. So that was that topic. We did that in record time.
I thought it was gonna take longer.
Do you want to do our own game of the year next, or do you not want to bother?
I don't want to bother because I haven't played. Okay, because you know what my game of the year is.
Yeah,
it's UFO 50 followed by Absalom.
Yeah.
Because those are the two games I play. It's Super Metroid. My game of the year every year is Super Metroid.
I'll put out my own thing. I'll look through the games I played that came out this year, and I'll see if how I feel about some of the categories, and maybe we'll go through that. But that won't be next week because I don't know if I said at the beginning. But we're not here next week.
Yep. For our listeners, we are not going to be here next week because of Thanksgiving and other stuff that's going to be happening.
There will be an episode uploaded next week that you can check out. It's going to be a remastered version of our Halloween episode. Thank you, Max, for re-going through that and adding and updating the audio.
Again, I keep on saying that the Halloween episode was one of my favorite ones we ever recorded. I thought we had so interesting discussions, and I'm so upset at myself for having the quiet mic.
Well, don't worry. Things will change.
Yeah.
All right, now that we're done with that, we have to talk about other stuff.
Yeah, we got to fill out this time slot. I'm not prepared for this. I didn't even bring a board game in today.
Don't worry. I know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the thing that me and you, pretty much only thing me and you have done.
Are we going to talk about the 7-part pact again?
We're going to talk about the 7-part pact. We're actually doing it. It's happening.
Yeah, so for our listeners, if you remember is it our most watched video on YouTube still?
It's definitely one of them.
So the episode where Alex came on and talked about the very, very interesting upcoming RPG being made by J-Dragon, the 7-part pact, where we each play as a big, powerful wizard. We are going to actually play a game of that.
Yeah, I'm done. We're done with the tricks and treats thing. I didn't mention what happened on the third iteration of the tricks and treats because I mostly couldn't remember it, and we had other stuff we had to talk about. Mm-hmm. And it was fun. But this time we're going around and we're doing the 7-part pact. We've got 7 wizards. You're one of them. I'm a different one of them.
Well, how about this? How about we just talk about our own personal character ideas? Because what we've spent all week doing is working on our own characters, learning the rules of the game, trying to come up with interesting ideas. We have 7 players. We each have all 7 of the categories filled. Everyone wanted to play a different thing, or I believe it was between you and Eric for the last 2.
Well, Eric messaged me. He's like, "Which of the 2 would you rather play?" And I was like, "I'd rather play the Faustian of the 2, but if you wanted to play him, I'd be fine with playing the Warlock. They're both interesting."
Yeah, you were very like, "I will play anything. I just want to play the game." And Eric was even more so.
I think I want to talk about. The thing that's most interesting about your character and my character is that we are literally 2 diametric opposites in the context of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Because your character is really old, right?
Yes, my character is old and fat.
Let's talk about Montgomery?
Yeah, Montgomery Gumerick.
Gumerick.
Which, okay, can I tell you about that name?
Yes.
I had a very hard time trying to find... what I wanted was a first name that sounded, like, fancy, but could be shortened to something kind of silly.
Right.
So, like, Reginald, Montgomery, Archibald, something you can short to Reggie, Monty.
Archie, yeah.
All of these easy to remember. All of them you don't take seriously. But Montgomery means like mountain of like masculine power or something like that.
Okay.
And this game has like the weird themes about patriarchy and everything. Gumerick is literally just like Montgomery is just like a shortened version of Mount Gumerick. So his name is Montgomery. Like fucking do you remember the series of Unfortunate Events books?
I didn't read them, but I know of them.
The second book, The Reptile House, they go stay with their uncle Montgomery. That's his name. His first name is Montgomery,
yes.
His last name is Montgomery. His parents were awful.
Yeah. So this is your character. You're playing the sorcerer.
Yeah.
The sorcerer. You tell me about the sorcerer because I'm not gonna be able to remember as much.
So the idea with the sorcerer, out of the 7 different wizard archetypes, the sorcerer is the one who is most in charge of monitoring the rules of magic. So not everyone is allowed to cast magic. Obviously, women are not allowed to do magic in this universe because it's a game about patriarchy. But also, just common folk are not allowed to do that shit. It's for us wizards. It's for our members of the pact.
Special people.
So my guy is all about finding occultists. People who practice magic when they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
He lives in a big tower, and it's a big library, and he has the ability to write new rules of magic, if we do any variations of spells, or if there's a question of how a spell works. My GMing role is to be the interpreter of how that's going to work, and then I can write in the grimoire the new rules and stuff like that.
Yep.
It is really cool. It is also in terms of because spellcasting is obviously so important.
Mm-hmm.
I am afraid that I accidentally took on a lot of extra DMing, more DMing with this character than I would otherwise.
I don't
know what I mean?
think that it's going to be any extra. I think everybody pretty much is going to have a little bit more than they thought they were going to. I know I do.
Well, we know the Warlock is the one that has the combat rules under his section, whereas I've got the research rules, which aren't that big of a deal, but also everything that has to do with magic, which is its own book. You know, that's what I mean.
Yeah, and what do you have for backstory for your character right now?
So, what do you mean by backstory exactly? Just the different options I chose?
Yeah, I have a whole backstory that I made for mine.
So, my guy didn't have a master. He was self-educated, and he's very proud of that fact.
That seems like it's going to be common.
Interesting. Is that also your guys'?
Yeah, and I think 2 other people's.
I might change mine then just to be different. I'm not super set in with different elements like that.
Okay.
I don't have a backstory so much as I have a premise of the character. I wanted him to be really fucking fat.
Yes.
And lazy.
Right.
And he sits in his wheelchair, which technically the sorcerer has a gold and silver throne or something, and he kind of sees himself as the king of the other wizards.
Mm.
But in my idea is that the throne is been converted into a wheelchair for regular use.
Okay.
Because he's so fat and lazy and he never leaves his library. And when he's in his library, the chair flies around all over the place because, he's magic. But because we have to keep magic secret from the common folk, it's got wheels on it so he can roll around in the times he actually leaves his library.
Right.
I wanted him to be just kind of fat and ugly and unlovable. A big part of the mechanics is coming up with companions for your character who do your social needs, and the one is obviously oh, this is your wife, she's the one who gives you love and attention and sex and everything like that. I'm no, not my wife. My wife's gonna be under a different category.
Yep.
Because she doesn't actually love him.
She's here for political reasons.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And you're also notably the oldest. I think you were
Alex's character is going to be the oldest. He is a weird, shriveled up goblin man.
Gotcha, okay.
Who's 1,000 years old or something.
You're one of the oldest. My character, if you haven't looked in my area at all, I am the youngest.
Okay.
I'm 20.
That's a very young wizard.
My character, his name is gone. So what I did with my established lore is I basically went through my backstory.
Mm-hmm.
My backstory is that my mother used to be a former pirate lord.
Ooh.
But then she was ousted as being a woman.
Yeah.
Yep,
which is funny because that's a thing that has happened in real world history.
Yes. She was well respected in Scuttleport, which is where I reside. She had my elder sister in secret while a lord, and then while she was pregnant with me, she was outed and was disgraced and forced to live as a beggar.
Okay.
While she was living as a beggar, I grew up and I became a thief and a scoundrel, because that is what I'm the Faustian, I didn't make that clear, usually is. After years of skimming and saving, my mother and my sister were able to purchase the Bilgewater Inn and start a new life together. But, coinciding with that, I ended up watching either the current or the previous Warlock kill the previous Faustian.
Okay, so you're implementing the other characters. I had an option for that, which I might change to now that I know so many people are self-educated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one of the options for who my master was that they were killed by the necromancer's master, and I'm like, oh, well, my sister is playing as the necromancer. I could definitely tie that in with her.
Yeah. I didn't talk to Eric about it. I just made that happen.
Yeah, I doubt he would care.
When I became the new Faustian because the previous Faustian died, and then because I watched it, the devil went into me.
Ooh.
This is also when I lost my true name, because I used to have a name, but I don't know what it is. I just know that I lost it, and nobody else knows that it exists. The only person who knows the name is the devil.
I really like this idea.
My name now is what it was given to me as like a nickname through Scuttleport, which is Beggarson.
Beggarson.
Because I am a beggar's son. And it's like a way of digging at my mom.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Since then, I was forced into the pact, and I've received a little help from the other members. I was kind of forced into it because I have the devil. I have to be the Faustian. There's not really an option left. You know, we need a Faustian. It's got to be me. And then, without the help from the pact, I have turned to the scheming witches of Scuttleport for guidance on how to do a lot of stuff.
Ooh.
Because there's a bunch of witches on Scuttleport.
So what you're saying is that you are conspiring with a cultist, and I have to have you put to death.
I am conspiring with the cultist to a degree. How much of to death you put me in is relative.
So I think we forgot to explain it for our listeners who don't remember. The Faustian is the wizard who is all about
maintaining the devil.
Yeah, so the devil we have like imprisoned.
Yep.
In a little box, I believe.
Yes, he's in the box, but he's also he isn't. The way they explain it, or the way J Dragon explained it, is kind of confusing. Like in the current age, actually, that we're gonna play, the only one that's currently available, he's dead, as far as we understand it.
The devil is.
Yes, that's
wow.
Yeah, if you haven't read that bit yet, he is technically dead, but he's not.
Is that in the Faustian's
No,
rulebook?
it's in the regular rulebook. If you read the Age of Awakening, the Age of Awakening is about how we have just taken over the realm of the devil.
Okay, I only read my part for that. So yeah.
Yeah. Technically, we believe him to be dead. I know that he isn't, because the Faustian is always able to talk to the devil, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I know all 6 of his names. Nobody else knows 6 of his names. I would happily tell you what they are, though.
Okay.
This is a not character. This is player to player.
Yeah, this is metagaming art. My character would not know this stuff.
You don't know any of these. But his names are Paradis, Dragon, Candace, Mind Goblin, Sugundi, and Bophades.
Mind Goblin?
Yeah, so
Candace?
I came up with all of these.
Oh, you made these.
Paradis nuts. Dragon these nuts on your face. Candy's nuts fit in your mouth. You Mind Goblin these nuts. Suck on these nuts. You want both of these nuts?
Both. You got me with the first couple, I'm not gonna lie.
That's why I ordered them in that route, so that I could tell people. Paradis sounds like a real name. Dragon? No one's gonna question Dragon for the devil. Candace? That's a little weird.
Oh my god, I've been going insane trying to come up with names for because I also have to name all my companions too. Like, I'm trying to come up with a good name for my homunculus.
Right.
I've got a homunculus butler, and I'm like, what am I gonna name him? I was thinking of naming him Carson.
I named my sister Mara, my best friend Eris, my mother Belinda, and then the witch I conspire with, Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum. I like Belinda, the pirate lord Belinda.
Yep.
I love that.
Well, she wasn't referred to as that, obviously. She was referred as like she thought she was a man. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is roughly the story I came up with. I thought it was pretty interesting. Another thing I really like the idea of is that I think the Faustian should die quickly. I think the Faustian notably should be a role that is always young, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Because
they're the ones. Their whole thing is they're being corrupted by the devil. My game is about that. I'm gonna be actually after this podcast. I'm gonna be talking with Alex. He's gonna walk me through how to play it. Because each of the, if you don't recall, listeners and viewers, 7 Part Pact, each of the wizards has their own board game in addition to playing a role playing game that they have to deal with. Mine is all about seizing and is limiting the amount of influence the devil has with my own level of control, and then having my cards, because mine's a card game, get slowly whittled away to the devil's deck until I stop having control over them.
That's interesting.
It's cool.
Mine is a little frustrating. It is basically a game of whack-a-mole. Based on, because like, so every round of the game we consult the planets or whatever. Like there is it's called the orrery. It's got a bunch of things that represent the planets, and they all move at a certain distance, and then you consult like their locations and stuff, which affects all the different wizards games.
Yep.
And mine basically just is, oh, the occultists appear here, the occultists appear there, the occultists appear there, and then I have to spend my actions getting rid of the occultists.
Yeah.
You know, so it isn't like there isn't a lot of choice to it. It's how much I want to fucking waste all my time fucking dealing with the problem that is going to continually to grow no matter what.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can see how this turns into like role-playing shit with the other characters. It's such a cool fucking game, man.
Yeah, it's dope. I'm really excited to actually get to play it. I still don't know exactly how it's gonna feel playing it.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm excited to find out.
If anything, I do just want to shout out Jay Dragon for like the world building. It's really fucking cool.
And there's so much openness to you can add your own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I will also add that my rules that I'm in charge of, because you're in charge of magic. My rules are actually I'm the one who determines how the wizard hearing goes effectively.
The wizard hearing?
Yeah. So if we break a pact law, I'm the one who's in charge of the rules for how we go about punishing and figuring it out.
So when we get put on trial,
yes, I'm the guy who has those rules.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I'm the one who deals with them the most. I'm the Faustian.
I don't think I got much else to say.
Well,
about Seven Part
Pact. I had a lot of fun playing it. We could go over some of the other characters, I believe, actually.
Well, not everyone has posted anything.
No.
The one player that neither of us had met beforehand is Alex's friend Chris, who is playing as the Mariner. And they have already fucking come up with, like, everything. I took direct inspiration from them. They just put a Hero Forge picture for their appearance.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm just going to do that, too. I'm not going to waste all this time trying to describe this character. I'm just going to make him in Hero Forge and then post a picture, and then everyone can see what he looks like.
So, your sister, the Necromancer, she's put on her name, which I think is
her name is
funny.
the best. Her name is definitely the best part. Could you read that for me?
It's not Anthony.
It's not Anthony.
Tony. Big Tony De Niro.
Big Tony De Necro. She's like gonna. I'm guessing she's gonna make him like a mob boss or something like that. I don't know.
So funny.
Big Tony.
It's so good. I cannot read. Theatis Fitzgerald, I believe, is the Mariner. They got wings. I don't know.
So, if you don't mind me changing the subject, I do have like
do.
something I've been doing lately that's been kind of weird and it's worth talking about.
Hit me with it.
Watching I was gonna say a new show, but technically it's an old show. Have you ever seen Babylon 5?
No.
So, Babylon 5, I just started because I heard it was, okay, my sister likes it, and usually if my sister recommends me a show, I generally like it as well. Nice thing about me and all my siblings, we all have the same fucking taste.
Pretty much. There's very few, differences.
But I was watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine previously, and I was fucking loving that show. I had never seen it before.
It's the best Star Trek from my understanding.
Well, that seems to be the case. Like, I always felt like Next Gen deserved the best Star Trek title because it still does the classic Star Trek thing of like the characters on a voyaging spaceship going to new planets, seeing science fiction scenarios.
Yeah.
Whereas Deep Space is about being on a space station with a bunch of different alien like species and ambassadors and stuff, and it's very, very political.
Yes.
And it's just really good.
It's got really good writing.
Exactly. But I found out that before it came out, the show was pitched about a space station where humans and a bunch of other alien races are all, interacting on the space station. It was set up to be a neutral meeting ground for all these political things, and it's called Babylon 5. And it was pitched to the people who made to Fox, Paramount, I have no idea who originally put these out. And they were turned down, and they wound up going through a different studio and making their own show. But the people who turned them down ended up making Deep Space Nine. It was oh, this is suspiciously similar.
How interesting.
How interesting. And as far as I know, it's not a plagiarism thing, but I think there were definitely accusations of plagiarism at the time.
Probably.
And it's a shame because like comparing it to Deep Space Nine is unfair because Deep Space Nine is better,
Right.
but it's still pretty fucking good. Like it doesn't have as good of acting, but the actors are all really good. It doesn't have as good of special effects. Actually, the special effects are pretty dated. I'm not gonna claim they're that good.
Okay.
Like they were dated for the time. Especially, I'm now looking at Deep Space Nine. I'm like, wow, Deep Space Nine looked incredible for the time. At least it looked way better than Babylon 5.
That's cool.
But you know what has me really thinking about? It's just 90s television and how much I fucking miss it.
Yeah, I've thought about this quite a bit, but I've been ruined by when I was in high school. I used to torrent every show,
Mm-hmm.
so if I wanted to watch an anime, I just watched it in one,
Yeah.
and that's how I've watched everything. And then Netflix came out, and that further ruined me. So now I don't watch shit when it's coming out. I just can't do it anymore, and that sucks because shit takes forever to come out, especially if you're into anime, which I am,
Yeah.
which is still very serialized.
It used to be you would have very dedicated scheduling.
Yep.
You would have your season of television. It would come out, like, say, in the fall or something like that. It would always have, like, 30 episodes or whatever. They would come out every single week.
Yep.
And then the next season would premiere at the same time of year, at the same time slot. And that's how it worked. Like, you could guarantee, like, there weren't these hiatuses that would go on for years and years.
And that had its like downfalls because if you missed an episode, you were kind of fucked.
But I wasn't actually talking about, like, the scheduling. I was talking more about, like, the pacing of the writing. Like, the way shows used to be made. I mean, before...
Well, that's part of it, though.
Yeah.
To be fair, because how, like, Netflix writes nowadays, and we discussed it earlier, right, with The Last of Us. They write the first episode to be really fucking good because it gets you in, and then the last episode's really fucking good, and then it's, like, the middle shit's like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's whatever. It's just here to have on in the background.
Well, what I can't help but notice is that supposedly bingeable television
Mm-hmm.
is less bingeable than old TV. Like, I would so much rather watch, like, 100 episodes of old Star Trek in a row than any new show that was designed... Like, with the exception of, like, the first season of Stranger Things...
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many shows actually, like, suck you in and you have to watch the whole fucking season, like, right then and there?
The only one besides that really did it for me was Severance, which was really good, but also notably Severance is on Apple TV, and Apple TV has not been trying to make streamable shows. They've been making good shows.
Yeah, the thing that's very frustrating is I hear about all these great Apple TV shows that almost nobody watches because it's exclusive to Apple TV.
There's one of them that I can't remember. I can never remember the name of that I think that you would fucking love. The premise of it is that it is a regular like sitcom, like imagine like According to Jim, but it's only that when the guy's on screen. As soon as the dude walks off screen, the entire vibe changes and it becomes like this woman who's dealing with the most insufferable piece of shit ever. And like it's got the sitcom like shooting style where it's like very flat, very like light, and then as soon as he walks out of the screen, all the lights go dim. It becomes this dramatic shots with these angles down here.
That sounds brilliant.
I think that you would love it.
I bet I would.
I can't remember the name of it, but we'll have to talk about that at some other point. But the other one besides Severance was the Goosebumps show because Nathan recommended it to me, and it's actually very good. The reboot they did.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Like,
I used to
genuinely
love
very good.
Goosebumps.
It's not like the old Goosebumps. It's
the
more
books.
like oh, okay. Well, it's not like the show because the books are just the show, or the show is just the books, but they made it. It's more like Cabin in the Woods.
Interesting.
As far as what I've been told, because I haven't seen Cabin in the Woods.
And speaking of Cabin in the Woods, and you know, fuck Joss Whedon and everything, but like Buffy the Vampire Slayer is still one of my favorite shows ever made.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking hard to find like shows of that fucking quality of the subject matter that I give a shit about, and especially things that are contemporary. Like they just don't make television that good anymore.
When I think about it, for me, I'm thinking like Malcolm in the Middle. Like I would
good sitcoms too. Yeah.
I would much rather watch Malcolm in the Middle than like whatever the fuck is on Netflix right now.
Malcolm in the Middle has fucking been. I'm not saying redeemed because it never needed redeemed, but it has aged well. It is like fine wine. It seems to get better and better as time has passed.
Well, like it's crazy because when it came out, Bryan Cranston was like a fairly well-known actor. He was in Seinfeld. He was in a bunch of stuff. And then after he did that, he did fucking Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and he became a household name.
Everyone knows Bryan Cranston, and everyone loves Bryan Cranston. And then they go back and they're like, it's a prequel to Breaking Bad, and it's like, oh.
Even if it's not, even if you don't do that silly shit, it's like, I mean, because they have made the jokes themselves. You know,
Yes.
they've gotten the actress who was in Malcolm Middle, and they did the bit where he like wakes up in bed next to her, and it's like, oh, I dreamt I was a
Meth creator, meth dealer.
I was about to say heroin. I'm like, it's not heroin. It's what does he make? He makes meth.
He makes blue meth.
Makes blue meth.
Yeah, and it's so good. And then Better Call Saul obviously made Bob Odenkirk, blew him up.
He was blowing. I mean, he was already one of the most popular characters in Breaking Bad. You know,
he was like
Hence
one
the
of the amazing
spin-off.
actor. Yeah. I kind of want to watch Barry.
Which one's
Barry?
I think I know Barry.
It's the one with the funny guy whose name I forget, but he's in everything. He's got the one voice that you know, and he's got the bulgy-ish eyes, black hair, and I can't remember
We're not gonna Google this.
his name.
Now he's Googling it.
I'm gonna Google it. I want to know.
Well, while you're Googling that, I'll just like name other old TV shows that I wish were still a thing.
We'll start naming, motherfucker.
Okay, do you remember?
guy.
You remember when Doctor Who was at its peak?
Bill Hader, yes.
Bill Hader, thank you. I miss that dude. Like seasons.
Yes. Seasons like 3. David Tennant. That's what it
Just
is.
the entire David Tennant.
The
like,
David
saga.
Tennant, some of the Matt Smith, even. I don't know.
I mean, honestly,
First dude, I can't remember his name.
Christopher.
Eccleston.
Yes, that's it. You got it.
Maybe his third season because his seasons weren't that good, but dude, it was such a good time.
It was. It was fantastic episode of the week. It was fantastic serialized storytelling. It was fantastic. Just like there's something I really love about slightly lower budget television. You know.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, we're just suspending our disbelief. I know all the aliens or demons or whatever, just people with rubber masks and rubber forehead makeup.
Yep.
You were about
sorry. I was just gonna. I remembered another series show that came out that was actually really fucking good on Netflix.
What?
Midnight Mass.
That doesn't count.
What doesn't count?
I mean, Midnight Mass is like prestige. Is like honest to god prestige television. This is the kind of stuff I'm wanting from HBO, not from my fucking like sitcom
Well, it came
stuff.
out from Netflix. Fuck you.
Yeah. Netflix. Every once in a while, Netflix does in fact pay good artists to make good work.
Yes, and Midnight Mass is excellent. Yeah, no, Doctor Who when it in its absolute peak was like one of the best shows ever. I was a huge fan. I think I've worn the Doctor Who shirt I have on here before. I fucking adored it, and then they kept making it.
Well, I want them to keep making it. There was a part. So when I was at my biggest Doctor Who phase, I was like, okay, I love the idea that this show has the formula that could allow it to live forever.
Yeah.
You know, it's got so many fucking bad writing decisions that were just like relics of the fact that it was originally made 50 fucking years ago.
Yep.
Like, okay, the Doctor is an alien who every time he dies, he just revives as a new alien, a new looking guy, so that they can just change the actor. It is the most fucking asspull decision of all time, but whatever. You accept it, and you move past it, and you still get good television out of it. They wind up, playing that off and doing really funny storylines and really cool storylines based on that premise,
Yeah. But then what they did recently is they just kind of kept the same storyline throughout all of them. So like David Tennant dies, and David Tennant loved playing Doctor Who. It was like his favorite character, pretty much.
Well, he was a massive Who fan as a kid,
and he married the one Doctor Who's daughter.
Yeah,
he is a massive Doctor Who fan. His run was excellent, and then Matt Smith comes, and I liked the first couple of seasons of Matt Smith.
I agree.
I will say, but they just kind of kept the same fucking story, and then they kind of changed the companions occasionally. And then, like, Peter Capaldi... Is it Peter Capaldi next, I think?
Peter Capaldi was next, yeah.
And I didn't give a fuck about that.
Which is a shame, because Peter Capaldi is, like, a fantastic actor, and
Yeah.
he could definitely have done, like, a very different kind of thing, and they were kind of... Okay, so how much do you know what was going behind the scenes from the writing?
Nothing.
Okay, so do you know who the showrunner was of the David Tennant? Because you keep on saying the actors, but not the writers, and they're the important ones.
I remember vaguely. I think we've talked about him. I can't remember his name.
So during the David Tennant years, the showrunner was Russell T Davies.
Okay.
And if I were to... I mean, Russell T Davies was just really good at solid, television writing.
Mm-hmm.
his big climaxes were always have every single character from every spin-off series and every important historical moment all gather in for a big party, and that was a little bit corny.
Yeah.
But it worked every time, like
Yeah.
the season finale with the Daleks and the Cybermen going to war with each other. Yeah, exactly. The two doctors is like, okay, we're gonna have David Tennant in a blue suit and David Tennant in a brown suit, and they're going to be like two different versions of it, and we're also going to bring the Master and the Daleks and the Cybermen back at the same time. Again, it's just a big fucking party, but everybody loves it.
Yeah.
So the guy who took over as the showrunner after him was Stephen Moffat.
Stephen Moffat, that's the one I knew.
And Stephen Moffat was really popular because he wrote a handful of the absolute fucking best episodes.
Yes.
In particular, he wrote the Weeping Angels episode.
Yes.
He also wrote the Shadow in the Library episode. Back in Doctor Number 9, Christopher Eccleston, he wrote the Lost Child, the one about where they go to World War II and they've got the ghost kid with the gas mask.
Yep.
Like, that was the best episode of that season by far.
Without question.
The thing is that
Not me.
oh my god, that actually triggered me a little. The thing is that Stephen Moffat, as good as he is at writing like fucking fantastic single episodes, his overarching story stuff would get so convoluted and so fucking obnoxious. Because, like, after the Weeping Angels, he introduces, what were they called? The Silence or whatever? The weird aliens that you forget exist whenever you don't look at them, which is uncomfortably similar to the Weeping Angels premise.
Yep.
And, like, turning that, like, the first episode with those guys, I thought was the coolest fucking thing ever because it was, exciting and mysterious and, like, you had no idea what was going on, just like all of other Stephen Moffat's episodes. The more they continued it, though, the more obnoxious it got, and the more fucking convoluted it got, the more fucking annoying it got.
There was a way to know this.
How?
That this was going to happen. H. Bomber Guy talked about it.
Yep, I know what you're getting at, because
I also watched it.
When Doctor Who was at its peak, there was two other shows that were very popular. One was Supernatural, I never got into, but the other show I was super into.
I'm thinking of a different show then, because I imagine you're thinking of Sherlock Holmes, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking of Sherlock.
I'm thinking of Jekyll.
Well, yeah, because Jekyll was... So, for our listeners, Stephen Moffat, who wrote those episodes, who was the showrunner during the Matt Smith years and wrote those good episodes, but honestly we didn't like as a showrunner. He was also the showrunner of Sherlock.
Yep.
And before that, he did a show called Jekyll.
Yes, and Jekyll fucking sucked.
Jekyll is proof that he wasn't a good showrunner. And the fact that he kept on being given his own shows...
is baffling.
Well,
it was really bad.
I mean, it depends. Like, if I were to go... So, Sherlock. Did you watch much Sherlock?
I watched most of Sherlock.
So, if you remember the first 3 episodes, because Sherlock was formatted weird. It was like, there was only 3 episodes per season, but they were like big 2-hour, 3-hour-long episodes that felt like movies.
And they were really good.
They were really good, but you remember that second one and how it was much weaker than the other two?
Yes. Well, they kind of had that feeling going off, because he had the first one, which I'm not mistaken, I'm almost certain I'm right, is the taxi killer, who he gets you into his taxi, and then he drugs you, and then he takes you to a place and gives you the choice of which of these do you want to take.
Yeah.
And both of them are poison, I believe. And, spoiler warning.
The mystery wasn't the good part of that episode.
No.
The good part was definitely introducing Sherlock and Watson.
Getting all that stuff, and then
like it
see
does
Watson.
Fantastic. Like
Also,
Benedict Cumberbatch performance is fan-fucking-tastic.
All of the actors were excellent. I cannot remember Watson, but I know his face.
Martin Freeman,
excellent.
He's excellent in everything he's in.
Yes,
he is the perfect everyman guy, and he's proven that a million fucking times over.
Yeah, and then they just kind of kept making it.
So season 2 ends with the Reichenbach Falls story, the death of Sherlock Holmes. And I'm like, that was a fucking choice for season 2. And how many seasons would there eventually be? 4, I think?
I think it's 4.
The third one was kind of, like, bad, and then the fourth one was, like, mind-blowingly awful, if I'm remembering correctly.
There were 4 seasons, yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done that. They fucking blew their load a little bit too early, and then they were like, okay, this is now a fucking mess, because that's what Stephen Moffat does. He creates incredibly fucking interesting and beautiful fucking messes.
Yeah, and then I think I've told you, I don't know if it was on this, but I've told you about the female doctor whose name I want to say her name was Jodie something, but I don't remember the name. And how they did the episode where she was responsible for getting Rosa Parks on the bus.
What?
Yeah, no, I think I've told you about this previously,
man.
but they made a thing where, like, they diminished the entire point of the civil rights movement and made it so that she was the one who did that.
I don't have the correct skin tone to fucking comment on that. I'm
like,
not touching this one.
We don't have to comment on it. We can just let it.
This is
sit
obviously
there.
bad.
We don't have to be like, that's bad, but we can all look at you and go,
You know why.
And then, yeah.
Did you ever watch Supernatural?
I like Supernatural a lot. I've actually been thinking about rewatching Supernatural.
I was thinking about going back and actually watching it. I watched a little bit. Like, I watched the first couple of episodes. I also watched, like, a random episode from, like, way later.
If you watch it, or if we watch it, whatever we do, go to season 5 and stop.
Okay.
You don't need to watch past season 5, because the first 5 seasons are the original writer. That's his actual entire thing. And then after season 5, which is a very notable end of the series, by the way, they keep going for like 20 more seasons, and it does not go well.
Okay, in terms of similar story types and tones, have you ever really watched Buffy?
No, I've not, actually.
Okay, so Buffy, I'm gonna go over this. When I was in college and I was super fucking depressed and I was alone and I would spend a lot of time like just hanging out in the library, they had a marathon of season 1 of Buffy, and I was like, okay, this is a show I've always heard about. I have never had any respect for it.
Right.
Because, the only thing I knew about it was that it was called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it was about a cheerleader who killed vampires. That sounded like the stupidest fucking thing I'd ever heard of before.
Yep.
And when I watched the first season, these first few episodes, it came off incredibly fucking corny and kind of stupid and weirdly compelling. I don't know how else to describe it, but for whatever reason, I'm like, I'm just going to download this entire series and I'm going to start watching through it. Season 1, meh. Season 2 starts getting really fucking good. Sometime in season 3, you're like, this is one of the best shows ever fucking made. All of these characters are great. All of these stories are fucking great. Every single episode is fucking fantastic. All these overarching stories are fucking interesting, you know?
Right.
It's like, it defines what good television is to me.
I'll have to check it out.
I adore it. But, so, famously, it should have ended at season 5.
Ah. That's where you're getting at.
But it was rebooted on a different network.
Cool.
And it kept on being worked on by Joss Whedon. And season 6 is low-key the best season.
Oh.
But it's also, like, where everything goes fucking insane. Like, season 5, like, I've already just described the premise. Massive fucking spoiler for the first episode. But it's, like, the kind of thing that I need to tell people about going into Buffy. Because, like, this is what you're in for.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, you know about Dawn?
Nope.
Oh, man, do I want to spoil this for you?
Up to you.
Nah, I don't think I won't spoil it. If you actually watch it, I won't spoil it because it's nuts.
I will put effort into actually watching it. I will get that, on my stuff. But in response to that, I want you to actually watch Supernatural.
I think I will. I think I will like it.
I believe wholeheartedly that if I had the money and the budget, that a game that I would make would be a Supernatural video game.
Interesting.
Because Supernatural's entire general premise is that these two brothers run around the entirety of the U.S. state, or the U.S., and they're trying to kill vampires and monsters and learn about, like, the underworld, the underworld of the...
It plays off a lot of folklore. It uses lots of urban legends and classic monster stuff.
And
like, I think one of the early episodes, they deal with a Wendigo, and I'm like, that's really cool. That's a more obscure kind of creature from fantasy and from folklore and stuff.
Yeah, and it's really cool. And I think that if this as a video game would be an excellent game. You just be in a classic car roaming around, like, rural United States, looking for weird stories of people dying, and then you'd find, like, a place where there's, like, a vampire, and you go and you kill the vampire. And they have the rules for how you do stuff. You get the salt circle. That stops demons. Demons can't leave the salt circle.
Yeah.
And then you have, like, if you read a certain prayer, you can exorcise demons.
Have you read Hellboy before?
I have read Hellboy, yeah.
Okay.
Hellboy's really good.
Have you played the game Control?
Yes, I really love the game Control.
I think that as a genre, contemporary fantasy really fucking speaks to me.
Yeah.
You know? Just like we're real people, real world, things that you understand and recognize being contrasted with the bizarre and the weird and the...
It's a little bit weird.
They usually pump up the horror aspect. Like, you don't see as much horror in, like, old-timey classic fantasy where it's set in Middle Ages or anything. Yeah. And you know how much I just love horror as a genre.
Yeah. It's not really my genre, but I'm into contemporary quite a bit, and Control's a really good game. I'm hopeful that the sequel that they're making, I believe, is going to be really good.
Have you played Alan Wake 2 yet?
Nope.
One of my favorite YouTubers named Noah Caldwell Gervais just did a retrospective of Alan Wake as a series. So Alan Wake 1 and 2, but also it turns out like pretty much all of Remedy's other games, because it turns out that like
there's an Alan Wake bit in Control.
They all have a shared universe because
Yeah.
they're all things that were written by Alan Wake, who is a writer. But
Oh,
like
yeah.
that
cool.
series is so much more interesting than I ever imagined it would be. Like Control, like everything that's good about Control, like times that by 10. Well, except for the not being able to fly around and like do cool ass fucking
I feel
action.
Like the combat wouldn't be as good.
No, not the combat.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to end though. It's about that time, getting that area.
Yay! I successfully filled the gap.
We did it. We're so proud of all of you. Thank you for watching and listening.
What do you mean all of you? I'm the one who did it.
I'm proud of the listeners.
Oh, okay.
And you're many.
Our listeners didn't do shit.
They did everything. They're here. We appreciate you, Alex, Ben. You're Ben.
I'm
well,
Ben.
you listen. Alex, Ben, Eric, Aqua,
Elijah,
Max, Elijah, everyone else. If you want to be mentioned, comment. Leave a comment.
Dox yourself, please.
Like, subscribe. You don't have to dox yourself. Just comment. I'll use your username. Like, subscribe. Give us 5 stars on Spotify. I don't know what that means, but do it. And then bye.
Bye.